TMA has you covered. Become a part of the 2023 TMA Listener of the Month Club. You nominate yourself for a monthly award. And if you win, you get recognition and stuff to help you satisfy that insatiable thirst. We're talking January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, etc. Go to TMASTL.com or the TMA app. Give us your name, a photo, and other pertinent information. Tell us why you deserve to be TMA Listener of the Month. And if you don't want to use your real name or photo, we don't really care. The TMA Listener of the Month. Get recognized just for being you, or fake you, or whatever. Quenched by Milagro Tequila. Welcome to the brighter side of tequila with Milagro in the morning after on KPNT HD2.
When we think of a real estate agent, we think of somebody simply selling our home or finding us a new one. I mean, they're all the same, right?
Okay, here's the comps. We'll take some pics, we'll post them, and I'll get back to you, okay?
A home is life-changing, and your real estate agent should reflect that. Honesty, integrity, and someone who will go above and beyond to make your dreams come true.
The Jeff Lutman Group with Compass Realty. We're different because you're different. We want what you want. Experience the difference today at jefflutman.com, bringing people and properties together.
Live from the Michelob Ultra Studios, KPNT FM HD2, Collinsville, St. Louis. This is TMA All Day. Rise and shine, St. Louis. It's the Brown and Crouppen Morning After on KPNT FM HD2, Collinsville, St. Louis. At the Morning After STL on YouTube and on TMASTL.com with Tim McKernan, Doug Vaughn, Iggy Strode, The Plowboy, and Action Jackson.
7:07 in St. Louis. You are listening to The Morning After, presented to you by Brown and Crouppen, Timothy Michael McKernan, Douglas Sullivan Vaughn, Kenneth Iggy Strode, the Plowhawk, Action Jackson with you. Welcome, friends, to a radio program prepared to entertain and inform for the next 3 hours. And Doug, here we are.
Now, how do you suppose we're going to do that with this crew assembled? What do we have today? Anything at all? Wide Berth Wednesday?
Jeremy Rutherford will join us, presented to you by Mark Hanna of Evergreen Wealth Strategies, who's online at evergreenstl.com, or you can just call him at 314-889-0503. And if finance is your Mount Everest, let Mark Hanna be your life Sherpa to the summit.
Yeah.
evergreenstl.com, and I would tell you he's a wonderful gentleman. And even if you find that, I didn't enjoy going over to Mark's office by Grassi's, I'll stop by and I'll get myself a meatball sandwich and some delicious fries, and that way I won. But I would tell you you'll win multiple ways, because you'll get to meet Mark, you'll talk to Mark, you'll feel better about life, and then he will give you, I think, some kind of 700% annual return.
He makes billionaires is what he does, Tim.
That's right.
And for a lot of our listeners, it's the only reason they would ever have to legally be in Frontenac. Otherwise, you stay where you're at. Unless you need to go see Mark Hanna.
That's right.
And then he'd be thrilled to see you.
Yeah, then it's evergreenstl.com.
I think so, really.
Let's go into this YouTube chat, see what's doing this morning. I haven't been in there. Hi, Tim. Hi, Tim. Hi, Tim.
Okay,
it's
stop
Michael
it.
Baker, Jake Reynolds, and Brad.
Stop it. Now, why would you just say hi to Tim? There's 5 of us here.
Jackson's off cam. You're 3 of off cam. Jackson, when's your camera coming in?
You're 4. Really?
It was back ordered, and then, stamps. Amazon didn't have stamps.
Correct.
Yeah, that's been an issue for them.
That
for a long
Amazon
time.
warehouse.
Jake just said hi, Doug.
I can give our listeners some advice real quick.
What sort of advice?
Only because this girl who started DMing me over the holidays.
Who would this be?
Okay.
We're changing the subject
who this
completely
is,
now.
or
No, I'm helping
what
I'm helping the listeners, because I checked and she has a bunch of the same friends and a lot of listeners.
Yes.
So one of them, Jake, I won't get his last name, Jakey Big Mistakey, is one of her friends. And I said, have you ever gotten a DM?
Jakey Big Mistakey?
No, just his name's Jake. And
I was going to say, I don't.
Yeah, Jakey Big Mistakey's kind of got his act together.
This is
Yeah,
just
he
Jake.
runs in good circles.
Right.
Really?
So I asked him, I said, have you ever gotten a DM
I
from
can
this
usually
girl?
guess who the mutual friends are.
Yeah, well, there's a ton of mutual friends, and I started looking, and there are a lot of listeners. So I said, have you ever gotten
and
a
that's
DM
why
from this girl?
Jakey Big Mistakey
Yeah.
wouldn't...
I just threw that out there. It's not Jakey Big Mistake. It's Jake something.
Nice.
I'm not going to give it.
Jake and the Fat Man. Doug.
We already had the-
Could you have that show in 2023, or would it be fat shaming?
Yes, it would be. You couldn't have
There
it.
you go.
It was Frank Cannon. That's the name he played?
Cannon, was it Michael Douglas?
Rich Gannon and the Raiders, 2003.
Rich Cannon. A different show.
Remember Crockett in the backfield?
Tubbs.
He was a
Crockett and
little
Tubbs?
tubby.
Yeah. But back to your little story, Iggy.
Well, I asked Jake, have you ever gotten a DM from him?
This is
from
Jakey
girl?
Big Mistakey.
No,
It's not. Doggone
A
it.
different big mistake.
Right.
And he said, I don't think so. But then about 10 minutes later, he goes, yeah, I did. And he sent it to me. He said, hi, sweetie, how are you? So I play along with these girls just to see what happens.
It's nice of you.
Look at this, look at that.
You play along.
To be such a big star and actually play along with people that contact you is really pretty humbling.
Do you kind of put your foot up on like the ottoman when you do this and kind of just lean
Well,
back?
she sent me a picture of her and her daughter. So she's not bad looking. You know, you don't send out a picture of you and your daughter if you're just, want something, I figure. But then she said, I moved here, I'm lonely, I'm taking care of my elderly aunt, and I just need somebody to talk to. I said, okay, because she may be serious.
Sounds like a scam
Not to
so
mention
far.
her hot body.
And if I can help her
hot
because
in a bikini.
she is lonely, she just needs somebody to talk to, fine.
Sure.
I don't know if I like
That's what lonely people do all the time. They send a picture of themselves with their daughter and contact a stranger and say, please talk to me. Happens all the time.
Well, she reached out to a bunch of people, obviously.
Well, that's how the scammers do it, and one of them will bite.
Well,
Why
I'm
not?
gullible.
No.
But for the most part, they were just decent questions.
Mm-hmm.
You got family and friends that come around to visit you over the holidays? Okay, that's good. You must be kicking back, relaxing at the moment.
Yeah.
So I'm just watching the football game. How's the game so far? Hope you're enjoying it. Did any of your friends come around to watch the game with you? So it's just stupid. Then she asked me my C size.
She got boobs galore.
And then I
That's
said,
a nice
okay, now
ease in.
I know what's going on here.
Then you started to think maybe this wasn't legit.
No, but then,
No, you still didn't think that.
no. Then I
Yeah,
get,
hoping.
then I get this
hoping and
pic-
praying.
Then I get this
She's
picture
still on the
yesterday,
hook.
Tim.
It's an empty refrigerator.
She goes, I need help with food.
Well, there it is, Doug.
And I blocked her. But for
Look at
anybody,
There is no secret plan.
for anybody that doesn't want to get scammed by her, Jeremy Gamlin,
Don't you think most people would see that for what it is initially?
Gamlin. And I said,
May I join you?
I said, isn't Jeremy a guy's name? She goes, it was a typo and Facebook won't let me fix it. It's actually Jennifer. So okay.
You can edit.
Sure.
It takes
Yeah, I
about 2
can.
seconds to edit a name,
I
right?
don't think she's from this country.
Well, she got farther with you, or he did, got farther with you than with most of the other fish in
Probably.
the sea.
At least
This
I-
is like in sales, the people. It's like you get a lot of people that hang up and block you up, but you get those ones that kind of almost tease you. You think you're going to get some cash, some Apple Music gift cards, and then
Right.
nothing.
Good morning and welcome to TMA, where our elderly part-time producer spends airtime explaining his interactions with burners and bots on the internet. Doug, that's from the Chicago Ginger. Is that the new promo that's running?
I think it is.
Who are you talking to? Because I'm not a producer. So
I got a scam call, and this is totally true. 2-3 months ago, scam call. Guy talking very slow, haltingly, said he was raising money for the handicapped, and he was one of them, and they were trying to help handicapped people go to work, and could I donate? And he spoke, very, very poorly, haltingly, and the more I talked with him, I started to think, well, maybe this is true.
hey, you try to help people.
But then at the end, I realized this isn't legit. So at the end, I said, I already donate to Special Olympics now. Thank you anyway. And he said, oh, you do not donate to them at all, you bastard. And hung up.
Well, there you go.
That's what he
No
said.
way. What a
Yep.
turn right there.
Yep.
That's when
Suddenly
you
he
know.
spoke very clearly.
I just don't answer my phone. I mean, that's kind of that's my universal policy.
I don't usually. Every now and then you see a number, you think, well, maybe that's somebody local, neighbor or something.
Doesn't it come up spam call or spam risk?
Sometimes it does, sometimes no.
That's what you should do with those spam calls.
See, I made a mistake one time of playing along with the timeshare people. Oh, really? Yeah. When is this dinner? Oh, and she's excited that I was actually going to go. Oh, well, it's going to be 7 o'clock, and they call me like 8 times after. Don't forget, it's tomorrow. Don't forget, it's tonight. Don't forget, it's tonight. I never showed up. Then I got called. You seem to have missed your timeshare. We got another one coming. Oh, God, I shouldn't have done that because now they're calling every day.
Yeah. Sometimes I just feel bad for the people having to take that job of calling.
I know.
I think of the poor soul who couldn't get a job anywhere else, and he's sitting there in a cube farm somewhere, trying desperately to make a buck, and that's all he's got.
Yeah, you kind of feel so. I never yell at them. I either don't answer, and if I think it's a legitimate number and I answer it, and I said, I'm sorry, not interested. I don't yell at them because I know they're just trying to make money.
Yeah.
Doug, they're not happy in the text inbox.
All right, I told the story. I hope Jeremy
Is this the
Gamley
skeleton? That story sounds familiar, and you probably could condense these stories. Doug, that's from 2023 Milagro Tequila Listener of the Year, Steve in Wildwood.
Okay.
Little Tommy Tribbins won an award in 2022, and he says, how many times are we going to do this? Every single month you get duped by some Nigerian prince, and it's solely because of your crippling horniness. You need to be put down. That's from Little Tommy Tribbins.
Like
I didn't
Old
get duped.
Yeller?
I didn't get duped. I don't send them money. I just wait to see how long it takes before they ask.
If you're not in my contact list, it goes straight to voicemail. Zero upside, like answering the door. That's from Hunchback of Vaughan Castle.
Well, I usually answer the door. I don't want people standing outside my door. I don't have any trouble telling them, no, I don't want it, thank you. But if someone's knocking on my door, ringing the doorbell, I answer it.
I might because I may have a child sleeping, but other than that, we're on a strictly no answer phone, no answer door policy.
No solicitors.
No solicitor. Oh, yeah. You put that up.
Well, sometimes we do get neighbor kids selling Girl Scout cookies and stuff like that. I don't necessarily recognize them right away, but I still answer the door.
How many times are we going to have this same conversation where Iggy reads his chat history with bots and thinks it may have been real? That's from Beer Cats, and he was up for Milagro Tequila Listener of the Year, but came up short.
Swing
to
and a
Steve
miss.
Wildwood.
Yeah, it's just another one. I thought I would help out the listeners because a lot of you are on her friends list.
Just circling back to 2023, did the Gaga autograph sell, or is it still available? That's from KG in O-Town. And Doug, you're vacationing in the Hamptons in January, and that means KG in O-Town will be in here.
Oh, good.
In January.
Yeah.
So I guess maybe he's interested in buying it, Iggy.
He's here on Monday, too, don't forget.
Oh, for you, yeah.
Little early vacay.
Starting those 8 weeks early, aren't you?
It's
Well,
just
yeah, you
one
got
day.
to get them all in.
The
It's
audience
one
is
day.
tracking vacation in
It's
2024.
one day, so we'll mark it. If nobody wants to start a tracking thing,
There's
Plow
going to be
Boy,
a spreadsheet
one day
on the fan
on
page.
the spreadsheet. I follow rules.
Yeah. They don't seem to miss us when we're not here anyway.
We could shut that door now that we don't play the show back. They would never know.
Yeah. It was like the last week of December. Oh, you want to take off? Sure, go ahead. Well, thank you.
Really enjoyed how Ken followed up his tale about messing with a telemarketer by piously declaring, I don't want to be rude to those people who have to be telemarketers for a living. Something doesn't quite line up there. Nice try, though. That's from Brian Henshin, and quite a situation for his Colts and the Texans this weekend.
I don't know. I think that the scammer on social media is different than the telemarketer.
I wasn't rude. I played along with it. I didn't yell at him or say, leave me alone. That would be rude.
Beer Cats wants to follow up on KG No-Town's question about the Lady Gaga autograph. Are we also still selling a lot of 3 smoke-filled leather jackets on Facebook Marketplace? Kind of a state of the sale. What is the state of the sale?
Oh, you've had it now. You're kind of crestfallen.
Man.
I gave one of them away to Rafe out of the leather jackets. It wasn't a leather jacket. It was a KU Letterman's jacket.
Who was the letterman who earned it?
I don't know. I don't even know where I got it. I really don't. It was in my closet. When
You
I
just
was
happen to have a Kansas University
I guess
letterman's
somebody
jacket?
gave it to me. I don't remember. It was in my closet when I was moving. So I said, well, why not sell it?
Could it have been Wilt Chamberlain's
Probably about
jacket?
a $200 jacket.
Gail Sayers.
Billy D. Williams.
No.
Is he King Cobra or Colt 45?
I don't know.
Colt 45, I think.
I think he's King Cobra. Colt 45, was that Carl Weathers?
Billy D. Williams, wasn't it?
Could it have been Mark Mangino's jacket? He used to wear Letterman's jackets.
And he pitched malt liquor as
It would-
well. Did
it
he do
would
Old
fit-
English?
That jacket would have
he
fit
didn't
around a
say that.
car.
It's ST period, crooked letter I.
It was a large, no X's in front of it. So Rafe said, my girlfriend's a KU fan. How much? I said, I'm not going to sell it to you. If you want it, I'll give it to you.
What a nice charitable gesture.
Wow. Nice job, eh?
Cleaned out some closet space at the same time.
Yeah. Got rid of one of them.
That's right, Mr. Tim. Big weekend for the Colts indeed. They'll be playing the Texans, but not at the Texans' home stadium. It'll be a Colts game with a playoff berth on the line. Win, pause, and they're in. That's from Brian Henson,
Oh.
setting the stage.
Apparently he is covering the Colts
See?
for the paper there.
No, he's just reading the article that one of his compadres wrote.
Well, he may have written it.
Minshaw's been playing well. There's my Colts breakdown.
Yeah.
As
I
good
think
as-
he
as
could
good
get a
as he
big
did.
payday, yeah.
Wasn't a bad breakdown. Okay.
Should have played Plowsy's boy this week instead of who I played.
Jordan Love, great.
I should have played Love.
Just tuning in. Why are we talking about giving away his junk again? It's from Mr. Licks. Breast, in parentheses, S. Here we go again. The effing jacket story. That's from
Oh my God, I didn't bring it up.
No, you didn't.
Somebody
else
asked
did.
a question.
Yeah.
I think it was Beer Cat.
Somebody wanted to be funny and asked a question. So why don't you start yelling at them? Go on the YouTube chat and go yell at them.
Do you have any other
Walrus
Lettermans?
King is in there talking it over with Carl Pelker.
Oh, the soccer player? Is it
No.
Carl Pelker was a soccer guy, right?
Carl Rose.
Okay.
Remember? Was he a fullback for the Steamers?
I wasn't here when the Steamers were playing.
Jeez,
I don't know.
show prep.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
I missed the whole Steamers thing.
Good times. Felt like it was
Yeah.
as big as the Blues.
It was, yeah.
They were
selling it out.
18,000 every game.
Mm-hmm.
Jackson sent audio over of Caitlin Clark hitting a game-winning shot, and it says the sound of the net popping is unlike anything I have heard on TV.
Really?
Have you heard this
They
yet?
got microphones right up on the net.
I want to hear it. Jackson's
nuts.
teased me with this audio description.
All right,
It's
take
like
the lead.
bird
Plowsy.
noises at the Masters.
Get the ball up in time. Clark for the win.
That's pure.
Yeah, like seriously.
It sounded like an editing problem there. Just kind of
Sounds like somebody clipped their wedge off of Bermuda grass.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It was so clean.
Got a mic right underneath the hoop, obviously.
didn't match up.
Yes, it did.
I think he said it's in, and then you hear the click.
So you think the sound was fake?
Clark for the win.
No, win, not in.
Oh, that's it.
Got you.
Okay.
Well, we
She's
killed
the one
that
that's making all that money in NIL.
Yes.
She makes a ton.
Did you see last night the Grambling women beat College of Biblical Studies 159 to 18?
Covered.
The
Two,
spread was
two big
80.
programs there.
159 to 18.
What's the name of that college? Biblical.
College of Biblical Studies. You figure they wouldn't
Oh,
come with a
come on.
with a great
How
athletic
Didn't
program.
they play Oregon in the Fiesta Bowl, right?
I believe so. They turned it down because it was
God,
Christmas.
In the third quarter, Grambling beat them 39-3, 36-6 in the second quarter,
Yeah.
46-4 in the first.
Restored order defensively in the second half.
I don't know. CBS came back with 5 points.
CBS.
That's what it's at. 5 points in the fourth. Oh, man.
Hey, Tim, can you ask KG in O-Town if he saw that video of the Mizzou cheerleaders spitting in each other's mouths? Thanks. Happy New Year. It's from Larry Thornton. Doug, as you know, I'm a Larry Thornton lemming. What do we got going on here? Mizzou cheerleaders are spitting.
Yeah, I saw that.
I saw that too.
What's going on?
I think it was just like
Isn't that his kink? That's his kink. That
It
happened
is.
at the year-end awards.
Yeah,
He got his
well-
mouth spit in.
Oh,
what a sight to see that was. Yeah, I guess these two Mizzou
Are
cheerleaders.
these Golden Girls?
No, they were cheerleaders.
Sapphic Golden Girl activity?
they look like cheerleaders.
Yeah, they're cheerleaders, and I guess one of them just spit some water in the other one's mouth.
One of them didn't appear to know it was coming. So I don't think it was a planned thing. It was just a gag, just a joke.
Oh, I saw it. Tell her to come through. That's from KG in O-Town.
Come through where?
His abode.
His abode.
She does look like she's 19 or 20.
Well, she probably is.
Yeah, that would stand to reason.
Mm-hmm.
Probably kicked off the squad.
I don't know. Just a joke. I mean, who hadn't spit water in someone's face? The old Danny Thomas spit take.
Chevy Chase. did
Milton
those
Berle
too.
used to do it quite a bit.
Well hung, right?
I don't know about that.
Seemed like he jumped on that.
Oh, yeah. A lot of Hollywood stars have said he is.
See?
Who said he is?
And there's 3 or 4 actresses that have said he is. I've seen it, and it is humongous.
Oh, come on. That's a wives' tale, right?
Joanne Worley.
Type it in.
Type it. I don't want to type that in.
You'll see the actresses that have said they saw him, and a couple of actors said they've seen him in the locker room, and he said, "We're embarrassed. It's so big."
Who are we talking about again? I lost.
Milton Berle.
Oh, I have no idea who that is.
So at these Hollywood things, they're walking around naked.
Hot.
Well, if they're
I
not
like it.
sauna or someplace, locker room.
Even saunas, you're not supposed to be naked.
Burl was famous within show business for the rumored size of his penis.
Rumors.
How big could it possibly be?
I'm seeing reports of 10 inches.
Whose reports? His own?
At that point, it's not that long. The girth must be insane.
Well, now, why would you say that?
We've all been on certain sites.
We have?
I'm just a majority of us, and I've seen a hog that's very interestingly big, and I think the long ones aren't as scary as the thick ones.
Oh.
It's like a snake that just got done eating a deer.
Manuel Plowhawk.
Yeah.
What happens to the
that's-
antlers?
I think they dissolve in the stomach acid, right?
Dame Judi Dench said she caught sight of Daniel Craig's penis. And
What you have to say?
said it was more than 007 inches.
Oh, wow.
So sick.
Gosh.
Who's that?
Daniel Craig? Is that
Yeah.
one of the James Bond?
He is the most recent James Bond.
Huh.
Where would Judi Dench be anywhere near his penis?
Well, she played M in all of the
She was
Bond
in
films.
Cats, wasn't she?
She was also in Cats.
Oh, yeah,
Unfortunately,
that won an Oscar, didn't it?
they forgot to edit out her hand for a paw. Rough.
Doug, do you remember when her hand was
No.
out for
It was
a
a
paw?
weird time to work at the movie theater.
If you're that old and you're wearing paws, I think it's time that show business has passed you by. Even if it's quote unquote Cats, because it definitely was terrible. I think you need to call it a career.
Well, they made a lot of
When
money.
they're telling
for
you,
it.
hey, Judy, don't forget to put your paws on for this next scene.
I think they still do those ceremonies with the sword on the shoulder. They just say, they give you a piece of paper that says you're now a dame.
They probably do the whole thing. They're pretty antiquated over there at some things.
Yeah.
The whole monarchy and such.
Damien.
Oh, gosh. I never saw Cats.
You missed out.
It's not good?
No.
Doug, it might be.
No. Like I said,
The
weird
worst
time to work at the
movie.
movie theater. People coming in dressed up. Ugh.
Well, did you have to dress up?
No.
But would you if you'd been asked to?
No. Listen, I don't kink shame, so if you're like a furry,
Right. Nobody
you know,
does.
Yeah.
do
So
your
let's-
thing,
so
live your
let's-
truth.
Let's say, Jackson, your manager said you'll get time and a half. We have the cat costume.
That I would be in a cat costume.
Yeah, I'm gonna say I would.
I can be
go
bought.
Instant,
Yeah.
instant call.
So a lot of the customers showed up dressed as cats.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you're
interesting?
disgusted by it.
Not disgusted, but
Is it a summer movie? Be a little warm.
no, it was in the winter.
Yeah, perfect timing.
I've only been to one, and I hated it too because I loved the movie, but Rocky Horror Picture Show. I used to love to go watch the movie, but you couldn't hear anything because these people dress up, they bring water guns when it rains, they yell all the lines. It's like, God, just go someplace else and do it. I'm trying to watch the movie.
Doug, we have a female listener interacting with the program. Her name
do?
is Caller Ellen, and she says, Google Milton Berle the same way you Google Winston Churchill war criminal. That's Caller Ellen.
Yeah, well, I got a ton of articles about him.
Burl or Churchill?
Both.
Oh,
I like how when you typed in Winston Churchill, you said it did come up as war criminal. I was like,
That's what he's known for.
I don't think so. It's not how I remember reading it.
There's a ton
He
of
only
articles.
saved Europe. That's all he did. But he's a criminal for beating the Nazis.
No, not the Nazis. I'm not going to get into it again, Ellen.
Caller Ellen wants to call in.
You go read it.
We don't have we had a phone caller in 2024?
We do?
We
No.
No, we
You
haven't
can be
had
still-
one yet.
You can still be the first.
You can be the first caller of 2024?
Right.
Wow, who's going to have that award? 636-900-4TMA. Email in for our Design Air Heating and Cooling email today, the morning after, at InsideSTL.com. Design Air is the great Seth Goldcamp and his staff online at DesignAirService.com. Doug's a client. I'm a client. Say, friends, why don't you become a client?
I'm a client.
Iggy's a client, too.
Still purring like a kitten.
How about that? It's Design Air Heating and Cooling. Anytime you have issues with your furnace, DesignAirService.com. It's quicker than contacting Seth. It's quicker than calling there. They will be out there super quick. It's Design Air Heating and Cooling online at DesignAirService.com. Munganess, the sponsor of our 7 o'clock hour, online at stlouisacura.com and altontoyota.com at St. Louis Acura and Munganess Burkhardt, Alton Toyota. Doug, give me two things you love about Munganess, St. Louis Acura, Munganess Burkhardt, Alton Toyota.
Well, I like the service you get when you go there, and I like the cars that they sell. Right now, they got me driving a Toyota Highlander, which I absolutely love. That came from Alton Toyota. Alton Toyota, St. Louis Acura together.
I'll be out there tomorrow.
Oh, yeah.
Get my oil change and a little detailed job for the BAM for the trip to Wisconsin. So I'll see, Clayton, Ryan, Peter, all the boys.
Great. Yeah. Oh, they do fantastic
They're
service
wonderful
job.
folk. They're wonderful folk.
Mm-hmm.
It's Munganess, St. Louis Acura, and Munganess, Burkhardt, Alton Toyota. And I was about to say to Iggy, but he got up and left when I was doing the spot that gives him a car for free every month while I pay for mine. The Daily Fantasy Sports Showdown is returning today, Doug. Are you ready?
Is it really?
Yeah.
I don't have to do anything to be ready. I just blindly pick names.
Iggy, how do you like your roster?
I haven't done much digging.
Well, what kind of show prep is that?
I didn't know we were doing it today. I didn't know it was back.
We'll just pick 5 or 6 names real quick then.
Well, I'm going to have to.
Okay.
I was going to go research today for my team that I play for money, but now that we're doing it today, I guess I'm going to have to go look real quick.
Well, we'll get through it.
Yeah, well,
Jackson.
Yes.
I know you're excited about it. It is today, correct? Or maybe we could do it tomorrow because it is in
it is in
Hawaii.
Hawaii, so we'll have time. They don't tee off till like noon our time, I think.
Yeah, we can do it tomorrow then.
Oh, okay.
Whatever's best for you guys. I cut the names out, so we're good.
You're ready to go to Dog? Who does it? Dogtown Ty send you those?
No, the great Flip Wilson.
I get those two confused, and I don't know why. I feel like it might be racist.
No, definitely not that. But they are both good golfers and good dudes. So shout out Flip Wilson for always looking at that.
Doug,
It's really helpful.
do you have their handicap indexes?
I think Flip is a 12,
Ooh.
and the other fellow's about an 18.
Right, Dogtown Ty's an 18.
Yeah, claims to be better than that, but
No,
he
he's
really
better than
isn't. No.
I think he quit again. I think he's selling his golf clubs.
Didn't he win the J. Randolph Jr. Fan Page Club Championship? One of those two won it.
Dogtown Ty did.
And he quit golf after winning? I guess once you win the green jacket, you shut her down.
Yeah, what else is there to achieve?
I could have swore.
So he's selling his clubs. Would you want to buy used clubs? I don't want to buy used golf
Well,
clubs.
if they were good. You can always go get them cut down and fit it.
Depends on how terrible you are.
Where'd
Flip
you hear
Wilson
this?
said, I'm an 11.8. Spot on, Doug. How about that?
Yeah, I figured he was.
I thought I saw him on Facebook said I'm giving up the game again. I got my clubs for sale. Could be somebody else. I thought it was him though.
Well, let's take some
a lot
time
of
out
these
to look into
listeners-
that.
Why?
Yes, tomorrow you have 11:45 a.m. to make your team, so we can do it tomorrow.
Cool.
Okay. Whoa, okay, Hotshot. We'll see what you got tomorrow on
We
the
have no
range.
shot now because now I'll go look at it and I'll
I don't have a
research.
shot because I win about half the time.
Jackson, what's a better use of your collective education? Selling movie tickets or cutting pieces of paper with PGA players' names on it? That's from the Hunchback of Von Castle.
Oh, man. Good question. I guess there's some human element to the selling movie tickets. You know, there's some customer service, so probably that. But that's just, one of those is just one part of my job.
Wouldn't it be easier if we just had all the players on a computer screen somewhere and I shout out a number and you read the player that corresponds with that number?
Yeah, we could do something like that.
Wouldn't that be easier for you?
I'm extremely open. And listen, cutting out the names takes me all 5 minutes, but
Okay.
I'm extremely open to anything like that. So
All right.
whatever works best for all you boys.
Well, keep cutting, I guess.
Well, nobody
Yeah, the
could be
people like to
drawing
talk.
John Rahm's name.
How about that, Doug?
morning.
No.
Not going to be able to pull John Rahm out of that box this year.
Defending champion too.
Yeah. Also defending champion of the Amex, right?
Yeah.
He won't be at that one.
And the Masters, well, he'll be
Unless he
there.
Well, do you think he'll just stop by in the gallery?
Where?
Amex, that's the one I just said.
No, I said Augusta. He's also the defending champion, which he can play, but
Can't
the other
play
ones-
at the Masters.
The other ones he can't.
Masters field is very short this year, Doug.
Is it?
Yeah. Super short.
That's one of the reasons I think he went to live too, is because he's exempt from every major for the next 5 years. So he figures, I mean, these guys don't care as long as they can play in the majors.
Trout Pout wants to launch an investigation. Trout Pout, is that the thing that single ladies do in the rearview mirror? Is that right?
I think that
Like the
was
selfies?
someone came in and said that was like the lip filler. It's called the Trout Pout. Pretty solid.
Dogtown Ty said he was quitting golf on the fan page. Iggy, that's where you saw it. It's from the Trout Pout. So
Well, it's also on
there's a
his
belief that Iggy has a burner on the fan page, and
Burner.
Trout Pout is the lead investigator.
Well, you think because he's just on the fan page, he's not on regular Facebook page,
I don't know.
and then I would be friends with him.
I don't know.
Jesus Christ.
Okay, you've had it now and you're a little bit crestfallen.
I posted a picture on Facebook about a glory hole.
I have a proposal. Ken cuts the names this year. That's from Harrison's brother Master. He was nominated for worst texter of the year.
That's not a bad idea.
Why would I cut the names? I'm not picking them.
Just to help with the show. Take something off Jackson's plate.
If Jackson would like me to help, I would. I don't need listeners to tell me what to do.
Oh, Jackson, you want Iggy to cut up the names?
You said it's your favorite part of the job, Jackson.
Yeah, it's what I look forward to most every Wednesday. Yeah, I mean, if you'd like to help, Iggs, I feel like I would kind of have to like move out of the way for you to do it, so I'll just do it. Like, it'd probably just be easier if I did it.
Right.
Because you don't have a computer to print out the names.
Mr. Licks has announced he would like to join Trout Pout in this investigation, so now there is a team of investigators.
Okay.
There's nothing to investigate.
Uh-oh.
I mean, I'm not on there.
It sounds like you're on there,
It's no
according
big
to
deal.
some.
I don't even
We need a
bring it up.
PI immediately on this.
Trout Pout.
These people bring it
Mr.
up, and
Licks.
then all the text will be, oh, look at him. Letting us know he's not on the Facebook page again, fan page again. Ah.
Well, it's hard for you to stay away. I know.
Is there any
Crystal
way?
City Clamhammer says, you guys are giving Iggy too much credit. He gets duped by bots, and you think he's smart enough to have a burner. That's from the Crystal City Clamhammer.
Yeah, I don't have a burner.
We got like a proxy.
It's amazing that nobody asks Iggy to do anything. Wonder why. That's from the 215. Doug, where is the 215?
I don't know.
Indianapolis, no, it's 217.
Oh, you think that's Henshin? Henshin's got a burner.
215 is Philadelphia.
Oh, they're definitely burners. On the fan.
Philadelphia, I believe.
He's right.
Nice, Iggy. Man, you know your area code.
Yeah, every time an area code comes up, you get it right. What's
As
that?
a producer back in the day, I had so many phone numbers in my thing that I'm just...
He has 500 on his list. He got hoes in different area codes.
Remember that, Doug? Nate Dogg and Warren G. Was that Nate Dogg? And
Great
I don't know who it
song.
was.
Love it.
R.I.P. Nate Dogg.
Yeah.
The Indianapolis Star will also be allocating some resources to this investigation. Could be a mole. That's from Brian Henshin. So the Indianapolis Star is going to investigate whether or not Iggy's on the fan page with a burner.
Do you think if you're on the fan page, you're not allowed to have your own Facebook page, too?
I don't know. How's that
It'd be
work?
so funny. Tim
My
gets a call
God.
from like Washington Post.
Yeah, the Washington Post.
We're digging into this story that caught wind.
Iggy will do anything for Hubbard, though. You guys know that. That's from Tervis Parish. What does that mean?
I just said it would help, and you heard what Jackson said.
He said he could use the help.
And he said, no, I think there's not enough room back here. It'd just be in my way, so I'll do it.
That was a big relief for you, wasn't it?
Well, it's just like
yeah.
you'd have to use my computer to print it out, so why would I just print it out and
Oh.
just do it, you know?
Can we just put this daily fantasy bit to bed? Instead, Munganess can sponsor Iggy's free car and put their money towards that. I think it would qualify as a 501c3. That's from Zach's wife, Gummy. So a charity. 501c3, Doug.
Yeah, I know. Is that possible? We can make that work?
What are you looking at me for?
We have to have some accountants calling. Do you think any accountants listen to the
Mark
show?
Milton.
Yeah, he can give us the information on
Yeah.
that.
Like
This could maybe help Munganess St. Louis Acura, Munganess Burkhardt, Alton Toyota.
Yeah. Well, the fantasy game goes toward the Mega Meyer Foundation.
There you go.
So that is a charity and it is a 501c.
Well, they would probably tell you that having a car like that does represent some value, so it probably is a taxable event.
Right.
Well, I didn't mean to rain
Why-
on your
what are you
parade.
looking
it just,
at me
it just
for?
probably is.
They're kind enough to let me have the car and use the car.
Yeah,
And
but
somebody
I know,
wants
but
to
that's-
poo-poo on it and make it all a tax thing and
Yeah.
like I'm stealing something.
No. Well,
Well,
probably best off not even to discuss it.
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't even know how that would work.
Yeah.
I don't do my own taxes. All I got is W-2s.
It's K1 season up in these studios.
Oh, yeah.
Jackson, for the love of God, please ask Iggy for help. I will Venmo you. Please, please, please. That's from Mr. Licks, who is, I guess, part of the investigation with the Trout Pout?
Well, I'd hate to see Iggy lose a finger or something cutting up names.
Asking me for help.
Cutting up the golf names.
Oh, my God.
Oh, yeah.
this
Enough.
I
You've
think
had
this-
enough of that.
I want to make this a thing. We haven't had a big thing, and well,
God forbid he takes 5 minutes out of his busy schedule of watching Spanish soap operas and beating off to cut up 70 names. That's from the old Appleton stepdad out
He's
on
had
his
it now.
front porch.
that was a deep side. I don't have visual of Iggy right now, but that was deep.
Harrison's
don't know
brother
why.
Master is offering Jackson money as well. Jackson, you might have a cottage industry.
Like, if I can make some money off of this, you're going to be slicing up names, brother. I don't know what to tell you. If I print out like, it's, not rocket science how to cut it out. So, Iggy, if I printed it out, we could cut it up next week.
Yeah.
Begrudgingly.
Just bring
Man, that
him
was-
in here with a pair of scissors, and I'll do it.
Yeah, don't do scissors. It'll take forever. Yeah, we have a paper slicer.
Like the people, the teachers used to have in school.
Yeah,
and those
bingo,
giant paper.
bingo.
Oh,
It's
you
actually-
could lose a finger with
Those
that.
things are so scary.
Yeah, and
man.
it's dull too, so you better put some elbow grease into it.
KG in O-Town says, I can help with the names if Iggy doesn't have time for it.
Imagine if KG had to cut
Just
the
for
names
5
and bring it
minutes.
in with his own hat every week.
Doug, we have our first caller of the year. You wanted it.
Oh.
You got it, ladies and gentlemen. He is the Milagro Tequila Listener of the Year, the defending champion. He holds the strap. Maybe someday he'll take the strap.
You could.
Steve in Wildwood. Morning, Chairman.
Hey, boss!
There he is. How about that?
Hello, Steve.
Hey, Dougie, how are you doing?
Well, I'm
Happy
fine.
New Year.
Happy New Year to you, too. How's everything down there?
Thanks. I'm doing great. Actually, I was just communicating with Timmy Burkhardt yesterday for my prize. Very
Wow.
generous. I've got a 25-person party with
Wow.
tequila tasting and
What?
catered by Rosalitas.
How about that?
Really?
Dude,
Oh,
the rich get richer.
It
Amen.
pales in comparison to the signed Iggy picture. So that was also part of the prize package there. So, very nice.
Congrats.
Hello?
oh yes, we're all here. We're here and we're happy for you.
Yeah, exactly. My handicap's down below 20 now, 19.5.
This guy's very
wow.
dangerous right now,
Arizona.
Doug. He is playing really good golf. I think the desert style of game benefits his play, and he is really trending right now.
You take lessons?
I got one lesson from Wellington, then he abandoned me.
Oh,
But
He immediately heads back to Florida on December 26th. He's here from December 22nd to December 26th, and we won't see him again until the temperatures are above 75.
How you going down? When have
He was
you
actually-
been able to post a score?
what's that?
When have you been able to post scores to have it go down?
Arizona. I was in Arizona last week. I
Okay.
played twice there. Played the Champions Course at TPC, and I played Legend Trails.
what'd you shoot?
I shot a 96 and a 98. I'm very erratic, though, Doug.
Yeah.
I had multiple pars and multiple double, triple bogeys.
Yeah, that's how I
you
play
know.
too.
I had one birdie, though.
Nice
And then
birdie.
I had an eagle putt on a par 5. So
Really? So you
I
hit
can
it a
go
long
hole
way?
by hole if you want me to, Doug.
No, not really. Mm-mm. But I think you play like a lot of people play, where every now and then you hit the ball really well and you get excited, and then you have a couple blow up holes, and that's where.
I only hit 2 fairways at TPC,
Oh,
which was that hurt me.
well, do you have to be
I was
careful
getting
there?
good at
You get
playing
up
off
the
the rock.
yeah, you get off the fairway, you run into snake trouble, don't you?
I think that area is so active you don't see that. Now the other one we went to, I posted the video on the fan page too. There were bobcats. We saw them twice during Legend Trails. There were 3 young bobcats chasing rabbits. They were hungry.
Huh.
And like literally, we were on the tee box and they were running right by us. So
Do you
It's
worry
pretty
about them? Are they a threat?
they're more scared of you than they're scared of them. I don't know. They were. I mean, I think I got a club in my hand. I can get a couple whacks on them.
Okay.
You know.
All right.
But congratulations to the Plowboy.
Yeah, he's an
Thanks,
engaged
buddy.
man.
I appreciate it, Steve.
No problem. No
I mean,
problem.
it's no winning
I don't
listener of
wanna
the
go to
year, but it's a pretty close second in terms of accomplishments.
Yeah, I think you're gonna have some sticker shock when you go try to plan this wedding. I mean,
We already have.
they're so damn expensive now.
Yeah.
Actually, I've been in almost every venue in the area probably within the last 5 years. So you can text me if you have any questions about.
I do like how
recommendations.
transparent they are on like websites. You don't have to do a full showing in order to get the price. They kind of give you a base price and kind of give you that 3 tiers of what you want, Pretty cool.
I think you're just having somebody's backyard and
we
have
wish.
salt and smoke.
We can't really find a
Catered.
yard that's accommodating. We would kind of do that, but it's a tough sell for the person giving up their yard and destroying it for a weekend.
They have weddings down at the stadium. Why don't you go there? I'm sure that's not too expensive.
Yeah, Mosaic will prank gouge the hell out of you. Just sit up in the box with his ascot, eat my cake.
Oh,
He wouldn't even pay for a plate.
oh,
I think like for an extra $10,000, I think Fredbird shows up. I went to a wedding over there. Fredbird showed up.
I'd rather have Fredbird there than Mo. Yeah, it's convenient for the Sultan Smee.
Everybody in the wedding party gets a bobblehead.
That'd be funny. It's a giveaway at the door before you enter the wedding. They get like a free bobblehead of the wedding party or the bride and groom. I think that's cool.
I like that. That's
Charge
not
me
bad.
$50,000.
But it's like it's never ending though. Like I think we had 6 weddings last year, and then we have like 5 or 6 more already planned for this year or invited to. But like then you got everything that comes with it. Like there's a couple shower, there's an engagement party.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
crazy how many parties there are. It's like we could fill up probably half of our full year with these parties
Yeah.
and everything. It's out of hand.
I think
Out of hand.
these wedding venues are so in demand that they don't have to play around with the price. They just say, "Here's the price,
Yeah.
love it or leave it," because we got 20 people after you who want to get in.
100%. We know that, and I'm not saying it's like it's not worth it. I haven't seen these venues. You know, I don't know what it comes with. So I'm not saying it's a price gouging situation. It is sticker shock, and I was surprised how transparent they were on websites. You know, this is a $35,000 package.
Jesus.
Fortunately,
dude, it's
3 of my 4 sons got married before the pandemic, and it was cheaper then.
Mm-hmm. That's
Like
what Madison's sister did too.
we went to. He was at what's a place? Chandler Hill. We had one out there.
Bryce
one was-
Chandler Hill.
Bryce Chandler Hill?
That's correct. Yeah, he
That's
slept
his own
with
island?
allegedly with
Winery.
Joe Simpson, Jessica Simpson's.
Actually,
father.
Chandler Hill's a perfect venue for your amount of people, and it's fairly reasonable, especially if you go on a Friday night. Plowsy, it's cheaper. It's like half the price on Friday night.
Yeah, my niece got married out there. It's pretty out there.
We figured out what we're doing anyway. So. But yeah.
Oh, you already got it. Good.
Well,
Good
yeah,
for you.
we figured.
You
Yeah.
better get it quickly though.
Mhm.
But I think it was all in out there. They had the ceremony out there and everything. It was like 30 to 35,000.
Man, what a
That
deal.
was like 5 years ago. Now it's probably like 70 to 75,000 for the same wedding. It's crazy.
Gosh.
I'd rather have a
that,
house.
that gives me anxiety.
Yeah, well, it should.
Yeah.
It's not like they take advantage of you or anything.
You could buy a new car.
Not at all, Doug.
No. No.
You want a big wedding or you want a new car?
I mean, this would be a Range Rover.
Now, what are you eating now? What?
Granola. Sorry, Steve. Kind of chewy.
Rice
I
Krispies.
don't even hear that. What are you eating though?
Granola bar.
Okay.
Granola bar.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
It's hard to eat and swallow at the same time. What do you got? What are you washing it down with?
DP.
Jesus.
Ooh, DP season.
Yeah.
Dr. Pepper.
Iggy, you're bored by my story. Now you know how it feels.
Oh, gosh. He cut you at the knee.
God, Doug.
That wasn't a story. That was a ask Plowsy, what are you eating now? What are you washing it down with now? I mean, that's just...
You got him.
Okay, tell us about some more bots. I would love to hear about it. It is like, and then literally right before the show stared, there was what was it? It was a package of sweaters. That was
Yeah, the
delivered, and that
awful
was on the
sweater
best
story.
It was
When Tim was gone,
It was so
we missed it, Tim.
detailed, about the Amazon 4. Do you still have the 4 sweaters?
It's an 18-minute segment about sending them the wrong sweater. It's a really good segment.
Oh, where I tried to give him back and he still
Yeah.
gave me my money back? No, I got my money back and I put on the second package came. I just
We
put,
know. We know.
I don't want it.
We know.
Well, you just asked me, did you get all 4 sweaters? I'm trying to answer the question. We know. Why'd you ask?
You still have all 4 sweaters. Do you still have them? That's
No.
all I asked. Yes or no?
No, I gave 2 back. I have 2. You gone?
Oh.
I think he hung up.
He hung up. He had enough.
Did he really?
He was about to win an award for first caller of
Yeah.
2024, and I wasn't able to give it to him.
Oh, it's disappointing.
I guess we'll have to give the award to the second caller for
Okay.
He may have
2024.
just fallen and passed out and fainted. I'm gonna check in on him.
Jackson, tell me about your hair because it's thick and lush, and Doug says he's the mayor of Toughtown?
Mayor of Toughtown, yeah.
That's right. Yep. Feeling good, follically. Really feeling like we're in our best situation possible. And that's all because of our friends over at St. Louis Hair Restoration, where you can get a free consultation just by stopping by. And if you mention TMA, $250 off a treatment. Just mentioning TMA gets you $250 off a treatment. For me, they just suggested, I got the consultation. They suggested to me for the finasteride, which I take every morning, and then this little laser cap that I wear for 6 minutes a night. Super easy to do. Couldn't be happier with the treatment I'm going, because right now my hair is feeling really good. It's really long right now and thicker than it usually has been. Now I'm confident to get a shorter haircut because I'm not nervous about the crown being in a bad place. That's all because of our friends over at St. Louis Hair Restoration, where they got Doug looking really good, some verticality up on those tops.
Yeah, pompadour now.
It's not
little
really
bouffant.
a pompadour, but there is definitely some follicular verticality.
Yeah.
It took about 6 months to get there, but that's where I am now.
You gelling that, boy?
I'm not gelling it. I don't have to. It just sticks straight up. It's thicker. The new stuff that came in is thicker than the old wispy hair that I had. Yeah, it's great. I have a much better hairline now than I've had in 30 years or so. And that was just spend 3 or 4 hours in the chair there at St. Louis Hair Restoration.
No pain. You swear by that.
For me, there was no pain. They numb you up real nice like, boy. Real nice like. I mean, really nice, like numbing. I didn't feel any pain. Little bit of swelling in the couple of days that followed, but that happens to only about 10% of the people. I've shown you some of the pictures of the swelling, a little bit I had on my forehead. But you cover it up with a baseball hat, and, a couple of weeks down the road, you don't even need the baseball hat. And then you just sit and you wait and you grow. You grow those tufts and you grow them wisps. And then you have follicular verticality, like I have, thanks to Dr. Palinga and Greg Kryling there at St. Louis Hair Restoration. They do fabulous work. They did for me in Jackson. They'll do it for you as well. If your hairline bothers you, if your bald spot bothers you, do something about it. You only live once. Go ahead and do something about it. And as Jackson said, $250 off. If you just mention TMA, the website, stlouishairrestoration.com.
So we, before our prominent winter holiday break, talked about how the marketing director over at St. Louis Hair Restoration was talking about meeting with me and tending to my my shrub situation.
Sure.
And I discussed it with my wife. She goes, well, I mean, if it's really something that's bothering you. And I go, well, it's not bothering me. I'm just curious if they could get me back to what I was doing when I was doing television with you and Steve Savard, that picture that we pulled up. And so at Prominent Winter Holiday Dinner, I was having dinner with my wife and her parents, and my mother-in-law had never seen me with her. I've had this look that's so striking compared to Bruce Willis and Michael Jordan often.
Well, it is.
Thank you. Since I think 2006.
You're a darling piece of beefcake.
Clip that off. And I said, oh, there is a YouTube video, and I have no idea how, from me anchoring in Little Rock. I don't know if there's one from KMOV. You said all of our KMOV that from the time we worked together have been destroyed. They just the news director just tossed all the archives.
They tossed a lot of the edited stories that we did. The newscasts that we did, they were usually kept for only about a week, and then they recycled the tapes. Otherwise, it would take a giant warehouse to store all the tapes.
So I pulled up the video, and I could kind of tell she's like, oh, you weren't bad looking. That's the read I got. That's the read I got.
Yeah.
And then my wife goes, well, that doesn't mean that that's what he's going to look like when he gets the hair. And it kind of made it sound like that she wasn't real bullish on my stock.
Like they had come to grips with the fact you're not that great looking now.
That's the read. That's the read. I go, oh God, they're on a flush draw. And I just picked it off. So I got a call. I'm ahead in the hand, but I think that's the read that I've come to the conclusion.
You should tell Anna Marie it can't get any worse. I mean,
if you get it, I don't know if I'd be able to shave my head then. I don't know.
Well, why would you want to shave your head if you got it?
Because what if it doesn't? What if I don't have a pompadour?
Well, it works. It does.
But you didn't need as many grafts as I would need.
You might have to go a time or two.
Well, I'm fine with that, but I don't really. I honestly don't care. I swear I'll take a lie detector. I couldn't care any less. But and she's also like, at this point, this is kind of your look. So why would you change it? And I go, I don't really care, but if I could get it and it could take me back to those glorious years of Little Rock, Arkansas, KTHV TV and KMOV TV in St. Louis, I go, maybe I'd do it. I don't know. But what stood out to me was, and I could be wrong, and my mother-in-law listens to the program, which has to be a horrifying experience for her.
I feel bad for her.
That she was kind of like, oh, huh, that's the read. That's all I'm telling you. That was my read. That was my
Well,
read.
it does change a person's look completely.
Well, especially if their skull's lopsided.
Oh, well,
Got
I'm not
that.
sure they can do it. That's a whole different.
Well, I was
a
looking to
whole
see if
different
there was
piece of work.
separate doctor in the building that could tend to that.
I don't know if in that building they have
They
one.
just put like a plunger and tried to pull out.
Yeah.
That's how I think I was extracted from
Can
my
you
mother's
imagine, Doug,
womb.
that procedure?
That's the problem. Oh my God! Second caller of the year, Doug, the old Appleton stepdad. I don't know if he's ever called in.
I don't think so.
This is a first, and he's going to get the award because Stephen Wildwood
Okay.
bailed. Good morning, old Appleton stepdad.
Hey guys, Timmy the Tickler.
No, this guy's a weasel.
Yeah, I just got through the phone lines. You know how I can do that.
Oh.
He does get through our fortress somehow.
Yeah.
Him
What
and
is it
Alec
that you
Ogletree.
Are you chewing something?
No, I'm sorry I couldn't make the end of the year awards, but let's be honest. I mean, it might be the upset of the century. Caller Adam deserved that award.
No, he didn't.
I mean, yeah.
Who won caller of the year?
This gentleman.
You're
Timmy the Tickler did?
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
You called me twice last year?
Now, I just want to say thank you to everyone that voted for me. I'm just a guy that calls and talks about porn. That's not kink shamed on this show. So thank you guys for allowing me to get on here and talk about porn.
Well, I don't think you deserve the award either, quite frankly.
Well, you could shut up for the segment then.
Oh!
So, hey, I wanted to recap some the porn for 2023, if you guys are okay with that.
I'm not.
No, that'd be great.
Yeah. So, first off, do you guys want to hear about some of the increases for searches on Pornhub?
Doug, would you like to hear about the...
I guess we're going to, whether I want to or not, right?
Yeah. So, mature was up 77% on Pornhub. Iggy, have you ever searched mature in Pornhub?
No, it's the same as like MILFs and
I don't know on that.
older
I feel
women,
like there's
right?
a different... I feel like MILF is like in the 28 to 35 range. Mature is usually going 50 plus.
Well, see, I'm going more in the Cherie DeVille era of
Like hold the Cherie DeVille.
MILFs are like 24 in porn, right? Like those almost
I think we're talking
grannies.
Yeah, mature. I guess you're talking about the Juliannes and people like that in their 40s.
Julianne is above 40.
Or 50s.
Most of the MILFs are early 20s because by 25 or so they escape.
Yeah.
They get back home, or the police
what it
finally
is?
the police find them finally.
Yeah,
I
so
think
you're
that's
right.
what
Mature
happened.
is different than MILFs nowadays because MILFs, you've been in the business 7 years, you're 26 years old, and all of a sudden you're a MILF.
What about GILF? Have you ever searched GILF?
Up that up.
I haven't, no.
Oh, okay. All right, we'll go there.
Timmy the Tickler, you know on this show we don't kink shame and we're very proud of that. But
I do.
Have you searched for GILF?
No, I can't say that that's something I'm into. I don't mind if I catch an older lady. Julianne is probably the latest I'm getting. Once everything starts sagging, like that's not for me. I like them firm, tight, and uptight.
No.
Give me a perky C. That's me.
Doug, a perky C.
Okay.
All right, next one. Grew over 1,000%. Android. I'm not sure what Android means when you search into porn. Iggy, can you help me out?
Androids.
Yeah,
Like
I don't
science
know if
fiction?
that's like sex robots or,
I
like they
don't
have fancy mode and tickle mode, whatever they dropped at Lousy Place. So that's a unique one. Uniform. Iggy, have you ever searched uniform in Pornhub?
I haven't.
You don't like a girl in a uniform?
Well, it's coming off anyway, so.
Nice.
Oh,
Very hot.
You are slick.
And then, guess what the number one searched item for Illinois was? The word would be.
Farm girls?
No, butt eating.
Oh!
Right.
Now, Missouri, I didn't really understand this one. Transformation. Can you Google that on that computer?
No.
Plowsy? Can you type that in?
No.
Yeah, it's probably safe. It's probably safe. You don't want to do that.
No.
And then finally, before I hop off, does anybody have any guesses who the number one searched porn star on Pornhub was for 2023?
Boy, that's a nice question,
I
Doug.
don't know.
Abella.
Do we have initials?
Well, you don't need it.
I'm gonna
If you got it, it's a Bella Danger.
Wow. Nicely done. Who guessed that? Jackson, you guessed that?
Yeah, she's the.
I think she's won
the young folks love her
2 years in a row. I think.
Oh, yeah, she's good. She's really good. Anyway, as always, thanks for letting me get on here and talk porn.
Right.
Duck, kiss my ass.
Put him down!
Oh, no.
Put him down! Cut his mic!
I had a couple questions for him. Josh Bob Bill, Doug, who used to share a building with Keisha Gray, but then she was removed from the building for a pit bull incident, texted in and said, has Timmy the Tickler heard of, is it Cece Rose? Cece Rose?
I don't know.
She's got the duck lip thing going, but her dirty talk is hunted.
Is honey?
Hunted.
What does that mean? 100?
Yeah, it's hot.
Hunted.
I'm not familiar with Cece Rose. Let me look her up here.
Okay.
Was Yankee Rose a song by David Lee Roth when he went
I don't know.
Am I right on that, Iggy?
You nailed it.
Yep. I'm so excited about myself. Probably 88? 87?
I don't know the years, Tim.
It says 86 here.
Can't be right. Yeah, I mean, it's just it's so tough with the Stag starlets because they get the fillers, and it's just I don't know what
their parents come and get them and say you're going home. You're only 17 years old.
God,
You
look at
told
her
them you were
lips.
21. You're 17. You're going home.
What a mess. Jackson, what age do you think it starts? Jackson's in the trenches for us.
I think it depends on where you live. You know, like if you're out on the West Coast or maybe even up in New York, it might start a little earlier, maybe around mid to late 20s.
Yeah.
What starts? The lips?
Yeah, just work in general. And then if you're more towards the Midwest, the heartland, you know, maybe around the mid-30s, you know, really starting to make yourself feel better.
Right off of Lindbergh Road?
Yeah, yep.
Well, to all you
park
want
there and wait, baby.
to all you want to be porn stars out there, ladies.
How many could there possibly be listening right
To
now?
show you how important social media is, I don't think Abella Danger has done a movie in 2 years. But her social media game is strong.
Is that right?
Yeah.
What is she doing on social media?
Instagram.
What's she doing? You're attracted to that guy who travels with her, right?
Oh, yeah.
that
What's
guy.
his name? Riley something?
Liam Riley.
Liam Riley.
Surprised he hasn't been on the show yet.
You got to get him on balloon
I
party.
tried. I DM'd. He didn't get back to me.
Oh, man.
Yeah, but she's, you know, whether she's out and about or she's on vacation or she's in a different island, she's always doing videos and
Different.
you know, she's
She's an
featuring.
island
She's just
hopper?
island hopping with Branson and
I think she was.
And
I
Liam.
think she was in Croatia a couple months ago.
That's not an island.
It's an island country.
It isn't.
Croatia's like
It
center
isn't.
cut, right?
Anyway,
It's a country in Eastern Europe.
well, wherever she goes, she
I don't know.
does videos, and
That's
usually her boyfriend Harold Gunn, who's a lawyer in Atlanta, is with her, and usually Liam Riley's kind of riding the coattails in there.
So is he like the fluffer? Does he like set up hotels?
It's just her gay friend.
He's gay?
Yeah, he's cross-dresser. This is what he does for a living. He dresses up like women.
Oh, for heaven's sake.
Nice market.
But I mean, she has a strong media game, and people still see her, even though she's not even really doing anything anymore. I think she's probably got an OnlyFans account, but you know, she's not doing any mainstream movies with companies or anything.
And this is advice you're giving to people who want to become porn stars? That's how you started this story?
Yeah, have a strong media presence, have a strong social media platform.
For real, how many women do you think listening to the show right now want to become a porn star?
I don't know.
I would think, what do you think, 75%?
Well, there were a couple of teachers out in St. Clair. I
Yeah,
guess.
we've cornered that market.
Yeah, they were already porn stars before we got a hold of them. But keep up your social media game, girls.
That's the title of the segment. See what people think about that.
So do you want to be a porn star?
I can't think anyone really wants to be. Some probably decide, where's the money going to come from? Okay, I'll do it. I can't think there's a lot that really say, I really desperately want to do this.
Well, OnlyFans has changed the game for so many people. I mean, who's the girl who used to be married to Charlie Sheen?
Denise
Richards.
Yeah.
Wild Things with Nev Campbell, pool scene. Doug.
Oh,
She's making $4 million a month on OnlyFans.
Denise Richards is?
$4 million a month.
She needed it too.
On
She was
OnlyFans.
really hurting.
How
And
much?
I'm sure she's not doing porn either.
How much do you think you could make on OnlyFans?
Question.
Nothing.
Why?
Let's
Watch
see.
me.
June 20th, 2023. People has the details. OnlyFans users can post a wide variety of content on their account. Most users post explicit content, however, it's not required. Despite Richards' less than risque pay-per-view profile, the source claims she has 100,000 followers and makes $2 million a month doing it. How about that, Doug?
I read 4 million.
Well, that was June 2023.
Oh,
Maybe
okay.
she had a big second half of the year.
People see the name and they think, oh, she's probably naked, so they sign up, and then they see, oh, she's not naked, but they got the money anyway.
Yeah, she's probably only charging like maybe $20 a month. So guys figure, what's $20 to see what she does? You probably see some boob.
All the really sad guys in this world usually have expendable income because they don't have girlfriends. They're
And
usually
making
in
so
small
much money.
studio apartment. They're like tech guys or haven't spent any of their money outside of porn subscriptions, and they are now ready to hop on that OnlyFans train and just start handing out money and buying gift bags.
They're investing as much as anything. They're investing in their OnlyFans account.
They are, diversified. Me and my sorority sisters have a third-round interview with Greg Lansky next week, and we are all loyal TMA listeners. Now, that's from glove blogger Tom Traven's text account, but still, how hot is that?
Not a word of truth to it.
Yeah.
Me and my sorority.
What did the Greg Lansky tweet say? Greg's not even in the business anymore, so.
What's he doing now?
Is he like a private?
He sold all of it. He sold raw and blacked and blacked raw and tushy and
all in one package?
He sold them all to Bree Mills, I believe.
Bree Mills bought them? Is that right?
I think so.
You imagine that contract? It's actually in print. It says what you're buying. Blacked XX.
Wouldn't you need a shower before you even leave the room?
I think that'd be a funny thing to read.
Porn peddler became a millionaire.
Well,
so the lesson of the segment is social media is important. That's from Snagglepuss.
I don't know if that's the lesson for the segment. It's just,
that was a pointer you gave.
Well, it is. I mean,
to would-be starlets in the industry.
Like I said, Bella Jane's here now 2 or 3 years in a row. She's been the most searched person on Pornhub, and she hasn't really done a movie in 2 years.
Yeah.
She's building up the mystique, like DDL.
Where is she super active? On all, like in Instagram? Is that
mainly,
a big thing?
mainly Instagram.
Yeah, right.
But I know she's got an OnlyFans account.
Well, the top person in almost any industry is going to make lots and lots of money.
Oh, sure. Riley Reid. I think Riley Reid just bought a $16 million home in the Hollywood Hills.
Yeah, that works in almost any industry. The very
One day I
top
want to
people.
hold a panda bear.
But the pyramid gets pretty small there at the top.
Yeah, but she's doing other things too. She was doing a lot of live videos when she's going back to school. She's trying to get a degree.
Rodney Dangerfield,
Bless her heart.
86?
And she's
Sally
I don't know
Conlon?
the years, Tim.
She was talking about she had a debate. She's in the debate club, and they had a debate one night, and she's showing how she's prepping for her debate. And I mean, she's a smart girl.
Back to School 86.
Yeah.
Same year as David Lee Roth's Yankee Rose.
Yeah, shipping. It's shipping season on this program. Timmy the Tickler is back, Doug. Now, he represented himself as the old Appleton stepdad.
He sure
Said
did.
He snuck through our fortress. And he said, I really love the show when you guys talk porn. More porn talk in 2024, please. Timmy the Tickler. With a
Stop it, Weasel.
Have you worked with Bree Mills? Because she's doing some things in the industry now that have never been done before, and a lot of the girls seem to want to go work with Bree.
Have we discussed what new things?
What
that
could you
nobody?
possibly do new
I think
at this
everything's been done on video
for years and years.
You know what? When Ken asked that question of Keisha Gray, was that 2019 or 2020?
I don't know the years, Tim.
I feel like the proclivity for female on male ass eating has increased exponentially in pictures. And I am really staunchly anti. And therefore, I don't know if I need to look in the mirror and say, am I kink shaming?
Is it you?
Yeah, because now I want to make it clear for the woman enjoying the gentleman's hole. And also for the gentleman with his legs in the air. I'm not saying you shouldn't do it or heaven forbid we try to outlaw it, but just for me, if I'm enjoying a scene and that pops up, I just go, oh, God bless America. That's what I say. I say, oh, God bless America. And then I bail on the scene. And candidly, I look at the lady different in the future.
Sure, yeah.
Stephen Bamberg, what's up, Steve?
Isn't there a great
That'd be funny if
hepatitis
those
risk
are
there?
the porn transitions right before ass eating.
You have to think that there's like, it's a cause and effect thing. You know, like people are interested in it, so they're doing it more.
You're right, I guess.
Or they're trying to kind of make people get into it, you know, kind of forcing it down I don't
So
wanna
hold on a second.
say your throat.
The adult industry wants the mainstream public to have men getting their salad tossed.
I'm just presenting.
That's Jackson's master's thesis in that Horton Watkins studio.
Well, you have to
Sponsored
think.
by any colon cleaner.
I think it's people trying to get attention by shocking someone.
Yeah,
Here's what
there's-
we'll do.
there's
Aren't you
certainly that.
shocked by this? Watch me.
Well, it's either my hypothesis of trying to force it down people's hole, or it's a cause and effect where there is a demand for female on male anilingus.
There's no possible way I could subject Madison, anyone else on this planet, to go dumpster diving. Oh, manhole, dude. Oh, it's so hairy.
This is now turned into
sweaty.
I can't hear you. I can't
It's
hear you.
almost like a damp
I can't
lagoon.
hear you.
But you could do something about that, right? Like you go spread eagle and take care of some of the
Oh,
debris.
I could. but
Jackson.
Last time I did that,
soft cow.
last time I did that, I nicked myself and I got a hemorrhoid.
Oh, gosh.
That was not the best first time shaving.
That's how you got a hemorrhoid?
Yeah.
Causes a
Shaving her
hemorrhoid?
ass.
Yeah.
It doesn't. You just nicked it and you were bleeding.
No, I nicked it, but like
And
caused
then
like
a hemorrhoid emerged?
like a-
that's not the way
No,
biochemistry.
that's not- no.
If you Google how do you get hemorrhoids, I
you're
guarantee that's not one of the
you're-
reasons.
Like what you're exiting out of there is like,
Yeah.
bacteria. So like if that cut wasn't healed and you're pooping, I don't want to get into it, but
Oh, but you
nonetheless,
just did.
I think what you had is a
the
fissure.
hemorrhoid was I tried to clean up a little bit.
Jackson, one of your favorite textures is Eric in the Central West End, and Doug played Native American ball with his father.
Indoor-
my guy.
indoor ball
And he
is dead.
says it's
Guardian
no
ball.
different than the messaging Hollywood and the mainstream media has been shoving down our throats for decades.
Yes.
So gentlemen getting their asses eaten in pornography, colon, not intentional, not double entendre colon, but actually the grammatical, the punctuation
two
mark.
dots.
Yes.
Yep. Big
And then
agenda.
mainstream media messaging. I need to maybe that's today's QFTA, Jackson.
I don't mean to throw us off subject,
Deep
but
dive.
I don't know when to use a colon and when to use a semicolon.
I don't know that either. Or when sometimes you feel like you need a comma to break it up,
Yeah.
but sometimes you don't, and those
Do we even
situations
need a
freak me out.
semicolon?
Oh, 100%.
Question. It's a good question. You think we do, Plowhawk?
I still think there's room and a need for it, just like ass eating. I certainly wouldn't put it into every conversation piece, but
No.
sometimes you need that pause.
I don't know, man. When this hooker I gave a ring to ate my ass all coked up, I erupted like one of my fire extinguishers from EDF. Doug, that's from the recovering
Gosh.
alcoholic from Belleville.
You know what? I didn't need to hear that. And he's been suspended. The recovering alcoholic from Belleville, for those comments, he has been suspended a period of 2 days' time. And I'm going to have to put on the hot oven mittens sponsored
that's
by
right.
the EDF.
Oh,
group.
yeah,
Yep,
nice.
there you go.
Yeah, EDF mittens are now in play because the takes have gotten too darned hot.
You also don't get any diseases that way as well, because it's very naughty in the studio right now.
I don't know that I can write in
I
the
don't think
suspension
you
log
can
you'll
write
with the
it
mittens,
down.
but I'll try because he deserves a 2 days' time recovering alcoholic.
Do you ever want to support the EDF Group as a sponsor of TMA? Well, it's real simple. Do you have a fire extinguisher where you work? The answer is yes, you certainly do. So please email the EDF Group at fire@theedfgroup.com so a technician can come out and explain to your team how the EDF Group can save your company money. Again, that email address is fire@theedfgroup.com. The EDF Group is Hyatt and will prevent your facility from having Hyatt fires. Experience the EDF Group difference. Learn more at theedfgroup.com. Send your emails in for our Design Air Heating and Cooling email today, the morning after at InsideSTL.com. Buck Swope is on a mission to win every Design Air Heating and Cooling email of the day contest in 2024, and so far he's 1 for 1. How about that? This guy might win every single one.
Very well could.
Jeremy Rutherford going to join us, presented to you by Mark Hanna of Evergreen Wealth Strategies. That comes your way at 9 o'clock. We'll close out the Munganess St. Louis Acura and Munganess Burkhardt Alton Toyota 7 o'clock hour at 8:15. This is the morning after, presented to you by Brown and Crouppen.
The choice of a lawyer is important and shouldn't be based on an ad. After a serious car accident, people have two questions. Why me and what now? Well, no one knows why you, but I'm Terry Crouppen, and my law firm Brown and Crouppen sure can help with the what now. Car repairs, medical bills, lost wages, pain and suffering. We're Brown and Crouppen, and we've got all those answers. All you have to do is call 222-2222.
Here's Action Jackson with 3 more ways to get TMA content.
Get the TMA mobile app and enable notifications so you don't miss a thing. See our content on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok. And stream us on the TMA mobile app and at TMASTL.com.
Thanks, Jackson. It's the Brown and Crouppen Morning After on 105.7 FM HD2.
Urban Dictionary defines thirsty as purposely, knowingly, and recklessly attempting to gain fame to boost self-esteem. So, are you thirsty? Well, TMA has you covered. Become a part of the 2023 TMA Listener of the Month Club. You nominate yourself for a monthly award. And if you win, you get recognition and stuff to help you satisfy that insatiable thirst. We're talking January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, etc. Go to TMASTL.com or the TMA app. Give us your name, a photo, and other pertinent information. Tell us why you deserve to be TMA Listener of the Month. And if you don't want to use your real name or photo, we don't really care. The TMA Listener of the Month. Get recognized just for being you, or fake you, or whatever. Quenched by Milagro Tequila. Welcome to the brighter side of tequila with Milagro in the morning after on KPNT HD2.
Biggie's Restaurant and Bar has been a staple of the community for over 30 years and is serving your favorites like a steak sandwich, waffle fries, and so much more. It's not just the food that's rocking. With a full bar and patio, Biggie's is the perfect spot for lunch, dinner, and a little laughter. Biggie's original hours are back. Open 11 a.m. till midnight, Wednesday, Thursday, and Sunday. And 11 a.m. till 1 a.m. on Friday and Saturday. Check out the full menu at biggiesrestaurant.com and stop in today.
When we think of a real estate agent, we think of somebody simply selling our home or finding us a new one. I mean, they're all the same, right?
Okay, here's the comps. We'll take some pics, we'll post them, and I'll get back to you, okay?
A home is life-changing, and your real estate agent should reflect that. Honesty, integrity, and someone who will go above and beyond to make your dreams come true.
The Jeff Lotman Group with Compass Realty. We're different because you're different. We want what you want. Experience the difference today at JeffLotman.com, bringing people and properties together.
Rosalitas know that a fun happy hour and scenic patio go together like fresh guac and chips. So take advantage of their covered patio this fall and winter at their De Pere location and enjoy happy hour specials Monday through Friday from 3 to 6. Their sparkling margarita is made with Chambord raspberry liqueur and topped with a bottle of rosé prosecco. They also have a variety of delicious margarita flavors, including mango, pomegranate, and blood orange, all made with top-shelf tequila and Cointreau. With phenomenal service, great margaritas, and a breathtaking atmosphere, there's always a reason to come to Rosalitas.
I get asked all the time by people, if I'm in an accident, what should I do? And while yes, you should call the police, exchange insurance information, and take pictures of the scene, all those things are important. But the most important thing you need to do is hire a personal injury lawyer. This is Doug Biggs from Longo Biggs Injury Law. And if you've been hurt by someone else's negligence, don't take on the insurance company yourself. Insurance companies have teams of people and a playbook designed to keep you running in circles so they can pay you as little money as possible for your accident claim. If you don't have a lawyer, they know you can't bring your claim to court, and they will never give you full value. We recently took an offer from an insurance company without a lawyer on the case from $12,000 to $200,000. You can't get that kind of result without an attorney on your case. Even if you don't hire us, you need to hire a personal injury attorney. Check us out online at longobiggs.com.
Iggy's Drops of the Week.
The infamous Gentleman's Quarters, which is the only strip bar in America attached to a parking lot of a McDonald's.
You can't teach a new dog old tricks or an old dog new tricks.
Can you bone a salmon?
I didn't listen to the last paragraph. What was spicy about it?
Are White Castle fries not talked about enough?
I taste it sometimes.
And you don't know my job title, Sister Pat.
I don't get, what is this article?
I want to sleep with at least 10 listeners this weekend. Thanks.
Wow.
Quit worrying about what I do in here.
There goes your vacation time spent smoking.
I saw that picture on the fan page.
My takes aren't researched either.
Well, it's just my take.
Chauvinist pig.
This is actually kind of an interesting discussion. I can't believe this is happening.
Pepper and Jeannie, is there anything we can do to make that podcast better?
I have a Shakira t-shirt that I wear all the time.
It's my birthday in 3 days.
Do you get in one of those power stances when you're scouting for a new gentleman lover?
This guy is the biggest moron I have ever heard text into the show, and there's a lot of morons that listen to this show.
Hey, there's Doug Vaughn. Look at his chest.
There's not enough attention given to the stepfathers who were founding fathers, I think.
Yeah, we weren't being literal.
Okay. Last week, you guys talked about ways to stay cool in the heat.
Ah, yes, balls.
Mazel tov, nonetheless.
I just can't win on this show. I really can't.
Who's this whining? Well, I'll look for that while I'm looking for the new Beach and Dillian Harper and the Friendly Confines. So there are attractive women out there looking for catty strain.
Well, I've seen Joshua live, and he's special.
Probably a sandwich with boy yolk on it.
That was Iggy's Drops of the Week. Hey, if you like the morning after, check out Balloon Party on 101 ESPN. HD1, by the way. It's sports talk with Tim McKernan and Action Jackson from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. each weekday, right after the morning after. It's the worst named show in the history of radio, but the content's pretty good, so check it out on 101 ESPN or get the podcast on the TMA app. You're hearing TMA all day on KPNT HD2, Collinsville, St. Louis, featuring the morning after live from 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. Then a full show replay from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m., followed by the best of TMA from 1 p.m. to 7 p.m., and another same-day replay starting at 10 p.m.
You gotta be on acid to understand what's going on this show.
It's the Brown and Crouppen Morning After.
KPNT FM HD2.
Collinsville, St. Louis.
Sick Queen Wednesday. Welcome back. TMA. It's presented to you, Doug, by Brian Crouppen. What do you know about Brian Crouppen? We know Ed Herman needs to get into broadcasting. We know that.
He sure does. He was here yesterday. Everybody loves Ed Herman. Everybody loves all the guys. Terry Crouppen and Andy Crouppen, the whole group, and they've got a staff of lawyers with them that you'll love as well. If you have any kind of potential personal injury case, you know Brown and Crouppen is the local law firm you need to call. They are here to serve you and have been since 1979. Local firm. Just built a new office down there on the hill right across from Ragazzi's beautiful complex that they made out of that old abandoned warehouse. They fixed that up. It is a sparkling new office for the Brown and Crouppen folks down there. Big part of the community. They value that. They're involved in many charities and community events, everything from Annie Malone and Sister Strut to Stray Rescue. If you think you may need Brown and Crouppen services, call them. I'll give them the number now.
Do it.
314-222-2222 or go to brownandcrouppen.com. Make sure to let them know you heard about it here on TMA. They'll give you a free evaluation. They work on a contingency basis. No upfront cost to you. If you don't get paid, they don't get paid. And they've won more than $1 billion in compensation for their clients. They are absolutely the best. Remember, the choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely on advertising. Past results are no guarantee of future results, and every case is different and must be judged on its own accord.
There you go. Jackson, why don't you tell the people about... we already talked about Mark Hanna of Evergreen Wealth Strategies. Is he coming in the studio for Jeremy Rutherford?
Jackson
resign?
I guess he did.
Jackson is resigned. He has had enough.
Yeah. Okay.
Jackson.
Splitsville.
Jackson.
He's out.
I don't think you think he's the kitten?
I don't think so.
Oh, no, we've identified that.
Is it possible he's just working on something? He's cutting up golf names?
You are potted. You've been potted up.
Jackson.
Lousy.
Jackson.
You've been potted up.
Jackson. He's not there.
Hello?
Jackson.
Hello?
Yeah, you're on.
Hello?
Yeah, Jackson, are you there?
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay.
God, where were you?
I was right here. I've been sitting here.
But why were you ignoring Doug?
I wasn't. I was saying hello. Was I potted up, Doug?
Yeah.
I don't know how that works.
Uh-oh.
I promise you I was sitting
Another investigation for the trout pout?
I
and
promise
Brian
you.
Henshin?
Yeah.
I promise you I've been sitting here.
Wow.
I haven't even
I
left.
guess Ed Herman's going to come in and do a little deposition of the Plowhawk and Jackson, and Brian Henshin will be here to witness it.
He'll
and
break
cover
one
for
of
the
them.
Minneapolis Star.
Yeah, Ed's got a busy day. He's going to work on trying to find out if I'm on the fan page and then work on that.
I haven't even left my little booth here since we started the program.
No.
How about this? This is breaking news. Burke told me how he's done with this stupid show. That's from Sweet Sweet Kai.
Wrong. Kyle making stuff up.
Jackson and I, and this was not, Jackson had no say in the decision, and then he acted like he was fine with it. I'm still not sure he is.
No.
I said, you know what? Let's do QFTA every day after Balloon Party, but we'll do a quicker version. And let's just see how long. Now, it could be like a New Year's resolution where people start going, you know what? I'm going to lose weight. I'm going to go to the gym every single day. And then
It was packed
January rolls
yesterday.
around.
It was
that right?
packed.
Is that
Sure
right?
was, yeah.
You're at Filler City, too, aren't you?
Filler City?
Yeah.
Is that what Lifetime is?
That's correct.
I don't know that it's... I guess maybe it is, because I've had work done.
You look naughty, though. So we did it yesterday. We'll do it again today. And you're always welcome to email in tmckernan at InsideSTL.com. But maybe I thought Jackson quit because I foisted QFTA daily upon him. yesterday, and that is why he just resigned, but then had second thoughts and came back.
No, my ass has not left this seat since we started at 7:07. So I am firmly placed here. Love what I do, and I look forward to doing QFTA.
Yeah, maybe it implies they bring Pepper and Jeannie back.
Wow! Hold on a second. Breaking news has just come through the studio.
Breaking news for me.
I'd be up. Yeah,
One of the hosts.
I just pulled it out of my ass right now. I didn't think about it.
Well, would you be up for that?
Wow.
If they have some sponsors.
Who's going to get the sponsors?
Now we're holding them.
Those people.
I said salespeople, not those people.
Oh.
Salespeople. I'm not a salesperson. I don't know how to sell.
No, Iggy, let's open up our Venmo. If listeners want to Venmo X amount each month, I think that's also.
So you guys are essentially opening up a Patreon.
Why don't you just do that? Just start a Patreon.
Well, I want the station to make money.
Well, the station's not going to make money off of Pepper and Jeannie as much as we want it to happen.
No.
I've heard the content. I've been in the studio.
Yeah.
It's fun as hell. I love doing it. Wouldn't say there's big buy coming our way.
Yeah, if we can
Would
get.
love it.
If you and I can get.
Centene decided to, extend that advertising budget a little bit.
Yeah.
Look,
Stewart and Worldwide Technology decided, hey, we're looking to expand.
Sure, throw millions into this.
I mean, if we made $50 a day doing it, so you'd only have to have like 50 people chipping $1.
And just think about
Good
the
luck
rare
with
people
that.
that give you $5. Whoa. Now you're in it. Now you're in it. Well, 50, you're talking between two, so it's actually 100 people would need to chip in $1.
No, 25 each. I mean, that's $120.
I don't know if I'd sign that contract.
$125 a week to BS for 15 minutes? You wouldn't do that?
Yeah, I guess I would. I guess.
Like we're watching the rebirth of Pepper
Gosh.
and Jeannie right
We
here.
are not, I don't think so,
That's what
Tim.
will
But
happen.
You don't think it's
fun,
happening?
It's fun to hash it out on air, though.
You just need 50 people to Venmo you each $1?
I'm not doing 50 Venmo transactions.
My fellow Fox C6 alum and Hubbard employee KG and O-Town lined up sponsors already, and you bums still didn't do it. That's from Midge or Madge.
I'm a KG fan. There was no actual sponsors reaching out to us.
With that. Act like he did something. There was no sponsors.
It's not like those sponsors reach out to me and Iggy and we're like, nah, still, it's not a right fit.
Maybe you could read a sales book and learn how to sell a spot.
Doug, I think it's the.
I think sales is the one job you have to have zero education to do, and I say that not from a place of mocking it. I'm not a college graduate, and I think even the time I spent there was pretty much worthless. And I'm talking about the University of Missouri. I just think it's a skill, and I think it's the skill that perhaps has some of the highest upside because it doesn't necessarily require much of a downstroke from an education standpoint. It's really persistence.
Right.
And feeling out
really
people's
is.
personalities.
And how
too.
money motivated you are. That's essentially what it comes down to.
Personality, learning how to do it, connecting with people.
We're looking for $25 a day, so we're really money motivated.
Some of the wealthiest people in America are sales.
Absolutely.
Oh,
and then they get themselves a little nut, and then they may invest in increase that wealth in that capacity. But yeah, that's the skill, man. I'll tell you. So you finally got rid of the Pepper and Jeannie promo during commercial, and now you guys are going to bring it back. That's from Trout Pout. This Trout Pout's active today.
Here's the funny thing about that is I didn't take it out.
It was taken out.
Management.
Did they really? They
Man,
forced
I'm
you
not
to.
kidding. I don't know who was in charge of doing it. I just know I didn't delete it. So I've been looking
When
for
was the
it.
last time you guys did that show?
We played the promo for a calendar year.
But when was the last Pepper and Jeannie?
December 30th, right?
Of December of no, I'm talking. When's the last time you guys actually did that podcast? Was it in 2023? Or did you do it in 2022?
Oh, 2022. So like we had the promo plan for an entire year after we said no. So they may have said, well, it probably doesn't make sense. So I've been searching for it, but it looks like
it's been removed.
Looks like if it
Doug,
does,
it's been destroyed.
I don't think that's fair. Sometimes it takes time for a show to evolve.
especially taking a year off, you get that batteries recharging, audience wanting more. You know the
When you
game
take
plan.
up when you take up valuable airtime promoting a show that doesn't exist, and then to just remove that just without a second thought, that doesn't make sense to me. Of course, I'm not management timber.
Yeah, so that's gone. Which is kind of funny because we played it every break.
Yeah, we did.
We played 3 times a day for a year.
Crystal City Clam Hammer actually has a business model. I'm willing to pay for Pepper and Genie to not be automatically downloaded to my phone.
How much will he pay for that?
I don't know, but there it is. There's a little something
I
there.
kind of like that. If we can call tech support, maybe call Apple, Lisbon.
Better yet,
Or
call,
Lipson,
call
sorry, not
get in
Lisbon.
touch with a hacker who can put spam all over these guys' phones if they don't download it.
That is very true.
Any takers yet?
We're not going to get this one off the ground.
Well, you don't know.
It's like the Wright brothers.
You have ideas for new
that
content?
First plane's not going to fly. What's up, Doug?
Do you have any ideas for new content?
I mean, how to stay warm in the winter.
The winter's a good one.
I mean, we're right there in the winter, and people are still wearing shorts and a T-shirt, wondering how can I get warmer.
Yeah.
I emailed like 6 suggestions.
What were those?
I forgot what they were.
No, well, that doesn't help then, does it?
No, someone had to do a clothes. I mean, people know I'm a snazzy dresser.
Who knows that?
We do need a personal stylist for Iggy, though. I think that would be a fun
I also
one.
have like 100 hats and 75 pairs of shoes. We could do Iggy's shoe of the week or shoe of the day or Iggy's hat of the day.
I think an Iggy Cribs, I know it'd be a one-off, would be hilarious.
Not a bad idea.
And then get a...
Open up your hovel and
What's
just
in Iggy's
show-
house? What's in Iggy's home?
Show 1 room a day, go
Yeah.
in-depth on the drawer situation.
Bill.
Masturbation stations, like a 2-part exclusive. For the second part, you get to look at the history.
So, a
Search
few
history.
suggestions.
Oh.
I said call the Bermuda Department of Tourism. Get Bermuda on board. As much as I talk about me living there for 5 years in Bermuda, I mean, that'd be perfect to get Bermuda spots in here.
I think that would be one of the best title sponsors to a podcast on an HD2 radio program. would be
Bermuda?
Bermuda.
The nation of Bermuda.
The nation is sponsoring this podcast on how to stay warm.
Doug, as you know, Brian Henshin covers the Colts and grades hijackings on this show, and he said 0 out of 10 for this idea. It's a feeble look-at-me attempt. That's from
Well-
Brian Henshin, Colts and Texans.
The only idea was to look at my closet.
It's not a feeble
It
idea.
was kind of the idea. Look at my hats and my shoes.
Well, if you may have Lids or somebody like that sells a lot of hats. You know, you can make fun of my hat. Make fun of my hat and say that's awful. You need a new one or something like that.
Yeah, I'd sponsor that. That might be bought by Sound Story.
Seems like a reach.
Stephen Wildwood is now in. I will sponsor it only if you wait 6 months to mention my name. Delayed marketing, very effective tactic. If there's one thing we all need more of, it's Iggy talking. That's from Stephen Wildwood. So we got another buyer, Souter Appraisal.
Starting to come in, and we just launched the effort, the initiative.
I'm excited
Well,
about
you waited 6 months because it didn't take that, but by the time the video got up, your name was all over the video. So you weren't paying until it came up and was on the video. That was our golf video, I believe.
Chris Nagel, 1-0, Doug, undefeated.
We released it in beanie season.
I don't know what Nagel's doing this year. I guess he's got some status on the Corn Ferry Tour.
Like, what is Chris Nagel?
I haven't checked.
I think he finished top 40 in the Q School. So I think he has some status on the Corn Ferry Tour.
Really?
Nice. There's your Nagel update.
Nagel
Brought to you by Bermuda. Be so good if we
I don't
had a nation.
I don't know what
sponsor a
Bermuda's
segment.
looking for, but there's many of our listeners that like to go on vacations and play golf. I mean, it's a no-brainer.
So, Iggy, you got 75 pair of shoes?
75 pairs seems excessive for any.
More than that?
No.
Doug,
In the vicinity.
Stephen A. Smith has started a podcast, and he is still doing it. And on this podcast, he is going rogue. We've heard some of the drops. Here is his latest, where he decides who he wants to sleep with the most: Jennifer Lopez, Halle Berry, or Jennifer Aniston.
At Al and Odd Osden, AZDN, right? Stephen A.
Burner.
Start, bench, cut. Jennifer Aniston, Halle Berry, Jennifer Lopez. That's easy for me, bro. Jennifer Lopez starts. Okay? Because I'm thinking from the neck down, not just the neck up.
Halle Berry's bench.
You asked, I told you. Halle Berry, because she's one of the most beautiful women you'll ever meet in your life. And Jennifer Aniston, a third, because of the reasons aforementioned in points 1 and 2. she would come in third place to that crop, without question. I don't think anybody would deny that. That was
what is he? Is he on like a hallucinogenics or
could be
some like stimulant that we're not aware of?
I think he believes so highly of himself that he thinks everything he says is very dramatic and important.
It's like he
so
mixes.
That's why it's delivered.
The
in that
delivery
fashion.
is phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a caffeine pill and a
God.
Viagra, like put together. Like I don't know. I would say Halle Berry 1, Aniston 2, J-Lo 3. J-Lo's gone through about 6 marriages.
Yeah, she must be a snootful.
To me, she ain't it.
She's been married 6 times, is that right?
No,
Huh?
I think she's been engaged 3 times, married once to Mark Anthony, I do believe.
Ben Affleck, she married to him?
Is she married? I know she was engaged to him twice.
What about that cute little Chris Judd?
Cute as a button.
She's been married 4 times.
And engaged to Ben Affleck 2 separate times, engaged to A-Rod. That's too much for me going on.
Did she marry that Casper dude?
Casper Weinberger, former Secretary of State.
I think his name was Casper.
Secretary of Defense or State?
Nobody named Casper.
It was one
nobody named Casper.
It was her
gonna
backup
be-
dancer, like 25 years younger than her.
Oh, I do remember that story. I think they were just kind of like a fling. Yeah, Halle Berry is so underrated.
You think she's underrated?
She's not talked about as much anymore, but man, that 007 movie she was in, don't know which one it was, with the orange bikini, that changed my life.
Watch
No, that changed your life.
As a 14-year-old.
No Day to Die.
Watch Swordfish.
Oh, I've seen that later on. I saw it later on, and she's phenomenal in it. Man, she has some good roles.
She got an extra $1 million
Monster
in that
Ball
movie
and
to
that
take
what
her
it
top
was?
off.
What's up?
She got an extra $1 million to be topless in that movie.
Now she can get OnlyFans.
Doesn't need it.
Horny Stephen A. Smith is so good for our planet. That's from Danny Tanner. You like that, Doug? When somebody's good for our planet?
I don't know.
Couldn't
It's
agree
good
more.
for the planet.
So he's like saving lives.
Don't you think climate change is saving lives? You think of all the warm weather we've had this winter, all the accidents that didn't happen on the roads, all the icy falls, all
No
the,
snow in the forecast, Doug.
the heart attacks that didn't happen from people shoveling snow and the freezing that people didn't do because the weather is so bad.
But Doug, it's the long game. It's the melting of the polar ice caps and then millions drown. I think
What millions are drowning? Show me some people drowning because
Doug,
of it.
I'm just saying that.
I have 28 next Friday. Heads up.
Yeah, it's coming. I saw that. Ugh.
As far as I know, there's no one drowning from it.
I'm just saying you see.
Think how much better our winter has been. It's been
this has
wonderful.
great. I worry about February. That's always a bitch.
December's usually rough. We played golf through much of December.
I went out and played yesterday.
Yeah.
That was nice.
And
out
it wasn't great, but I went out and played. My son wanted to play, and I'm like, okay, I guess I gotta. When he's wanting to play, I'll go play. So we went out and played. Only people on the course, as you might imagine.
All the courses still open?
It was the first time I had hit a golf ball off of actual grass since October. I don't like to play in this stuff.
Well,
Jackson, you've been playing, right? Doug, you've been playing.
I played many times in November. It was 70 degrees.
I haven't played in a couple weeks. Yeah, I'm pretty much on the shelf. I'll be out in Arizona in a month, though, and I'll be going low.
Oh, who are you going to Arizona with?
Bachelor party for my buddy.
You're already going on vacation?
Bachelor. I'm on
CMA vacation tracker.
Gosh, here we
I'm
go.
on 1 day.
How
and
many
4
days
days,
you taking?
so-
2?
2, yeah.
Gosh.
Ugh.
And it's just the first month of the year.
I'll
You gonna have
actually-
anything left?
February
The first
1st.
week of the season.
February 1st and 2nd I'll be out. I'll be out in Scottsdale.
Where are you going,
Okay.
Doug?
I'm going to Dallas.
What's there?
It's a wedding. It's a wedding. And I have family there.
Obviously, we had to ask.
Yeah, a wedding in Dallas.
You hate wasting a vacation on a wedding?
No, I don't.
Maybe if it was in like Branson or something, but I think Dallas would be a fun city to kind of hang out. I'm sure you're going to go out clubbing, so.
You going to the club?
Oh, absolutely. Say I won't.
Go with Luca?
Yeah, I'm going to hook up with Luca. Yeah.
You like that song by Suzanne Vega?
What song is that?
My Name is Luca. I think it was just called Luca, though.
I don't know.
My name is Luca.
Super underrated.
Have you
Disney
seen
animated.
Have you seen Luca play lately? I saw him play the other night. He had 50 points and about
he's
20
insane.
assists.
And he looks
Jackson
so.
weaved him into balloon party yesterday, and it was
Really?
not met well.
Did I?
Yeah.
I thought I was saying we need to have the Anthony Edwards conversation.
And the darn of
I'm
it,
always happy to talk Luca.
it looks like he's playing in slow motion. He's just kind of going half speed.
Can't speed him up. Something about playing in your own rhythm.
Yeah, I don't know how he does it.
Elite footwork.
Elite footwork.
You'd be happy with me, Jackson. DraftKings for the holidays. If you have a DraftKings account, Tim probably got it, but he doesn't care because it's a freebie. They gave you 6 free plays from Monday to Sunday, leading up to New Year's.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, one of them was an NBA free game. You know, $25,000 pots, and you play for free. I knew nothing about it. I just picked 9 guys. I think you got to pick 2 forwards, a center, 3 guards, a couple of flex. I just threw guys in there. I didn't even know who they were, and I made a buck.
Nice.
So sick.
Nice.
Why do we even
ROI,
need Pepper and
100%.
Jenny? Let's just make 5,000 rosters
Yeah.
of that, and let's get ourselves involved.
Hey guys, I'm going to Denver in a week and a half. If you want to put that on the TMA vacation tracker, that's from KG and O-Town.
Oh, yeah, we need to. All employees need to put their vacation time
Or
down.
part.
Yeah, who's going to be filling in for you here?
I guess you will.
No, I'm already here.
Okay.
That's the point.
Hey, Virgin, you gonna tear up some ass in Scottsdale? How many boys you got? I know a guy who knows a guy that can set you up with some really dirty girl-on-girl action in the privacy of your own home. It's from the Horse and Woods Wacko.
Something to consider. I think there's like 20 of us.
You got a B&B?
Yeah, big one.
All in one house?
Yeah, big ass.
This guy goes on a lot of
it's
trips
just
with a
like
bunch of
another-
guys.
Well, it's a bachelor party.
Just like that trip to Tennessee where the girls aren't.
No, that
At least this was in
Chinese
Scottsdale.
worker.
Like it's in like a cosmopolitan.
Was there any thought of hotel?
No. Airbnb is
Where one could have their own room.
better, just for the camaraderie, if nothing else. You know, if you're all in a hotel, then you're just like in your room doing nothing.
We'll have to tend to this at 10:02 on 101 ESPN today.
You're just doing nothing for like, most of the day. If you're all in the house, we have a pool, we can all hang out there, cook there.
But what happens if you want to bang that ass?
I guess you just find a corridor.
Chipotle parking lot.
Find a corridor.
20 people in one house?
Find
20
a
guys.
How big is the house?
big. Looks like the set of Love Island. It's
Is it John Rahm's place?
Yep, Rom. Right before
I know
the
he's
waste
needing
management.
money, yeah. So.
What's
Letting
it
us
cost
have
to rent a house like that in Scottsdale this time of year?
A lot. I don't know. I'm paying it's like $250 for the 2 nights.
Just you. So 125 a night times 20?
Nice, Doug.
Let's do that. 125 times 20 people. 2,500 a night?
Sounds about right.
500 cleaning fee, probably.
It sleeps 20, so
Okay, yeah, and probably about $3,000. I
A
think
house
all in.
sleeps 20. Gosh. He must be doing HD3 radio then.
Yeah, I know.
Trust me, I'm not if all my friends think I'm doing this for all their bachelor parties, they're out of their mind.
Yeah.
Who's the owner? Jason Barrett?
Oh, could be.
That'll be right around when he releases the best shows, because that's the week before the Super Bowl.
Probably why he's
You
not
think,
there.
you think we're in this year?
I think we'd have to be midday, mid-market.
No. There certainly is that, but I'm talking about TMA.
Oh no,
Definitely not.
Did he release his 2023s already?
Not yet.
that's always the week of Super Bowl.
If you had a house like that in Scottsdale and you could keep that Airbnb booked up for 20 or 22 or 3 days a month, you'd triple the cost of your mortgage payment, probably.
100%.
Oh, yeah.
It's a great market.
Why don't we buy some houses in Scottsdale real
Let's
quick?
do
All right.
Where do you think Barrett meets all the executives at?
a conclave.
I think it's like the Peabody.
Some fancy hotel somewhere in L.A.,
I think it'd be funny to see all those executives come in for a week.
Just to vote on
Just
the
to
rankings.
They're just listening in their AirPods. Which shows. With a little notepad.
Hey, Pale, is that bitch boy from New Hampshire going? His little hottie is coming over for playtime with wifey that same weekend. That's from the recovering alcoholic from Belleville in Webster Groves. Is Sweet Sweet Kai going to Scottsdale?
Yes.
Wow.
I haven't seen Guy in forever, so I'm very much looking forward.
And his wife is going to be with the recovering alcoholic from Belleville and Webster Groves' wife that weekend.
I don't believe that to be the case. She is probably staying in New Hampshire. I'd be surprised.
But didn't she engage in sapphic play?
She was offered sapphic play outside the restroom at the Post.
That's a hotbed.
Much
Oh,
to,
you're banging them two
much
at
to
a
Kai's
time.
chagrin.
Supermodels.
Much to Kai's chagrin.
Sweet Sweet Kai has responded, I'd love to see them play. Wink, wink.
No.
Sounds like he's
When
up
my
for it.
mom does simple things like washing my hair or washing my body, it makes me feel comforted.
Okay, you're creepy.
Doug, when we buy our homes in Scottsdale, we'll use Jeff Lotman. He's online at JEFFLOTTMANN.com. Yeah, JEFFLOTTMANN.com. Jeff Lotman. Compass Realty. He made the move to Compass Realty in St. Louis because that is where you're going to get the #1 luxury experience in real estate. Now you sit there and say, well, luxury, I'm just a man's man. A meat and potatoes guy. I'm not a luxury guy. I don't have a multi-million-dollar home. I can't work with Jeff Lotman. No. Luxury is not about price point. It's about the experience. He provides a luxury experience. Whether you're buying or you're selling your home, go to jefflotman.com, JEFFLOTTMANN.com. Doug, me and my boys go to Scottsdale every year. 8 dudes. We pay for a massive compound up by Troon. $10,000 for 4 nights. That's from the Warson Woods Wacko.
Well, that's about what they're paying here. But, yeah. Right? $2,500 a night?
Yeah, but they got a lot less people.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure there's a lot of people pay off those houses. Just keep it busy for 1 week and you'd probably make your mortgage payment.
You got the, you're probably going to have somebody manage it remotely for you, so that's going to cut into your margin. I don't know what that looks like.
A management fee used to be about 10%. If you owned a property out of town, there was management companies that would come and fix repairs in the middle of the night or whatever. It's about 10% of the mortgage payment.
But you can also like hike up the price at least 1 weekend a year with the Waste Management, which is the week after. And then every couple of years they get the Super Bowl, which is the same time. So you can just make that thing go crazy.
Probably be a good investment if you had 3 or 4 people go into it together where you didn't count on living there yourself, but you could use it as a vacation home and still make money off of it.
Right, but the problem is you probably are using it as a vacation home in like the summer, like the non-peak times if you're really trying to hit that ROI.
Yeah, that's still not a bad thing if you want to make money on a Scottsdale mansion.
No, like if you're going in April, it's hot, but it's all right.
Stephen Wildwood says greens fees are $200 minimum this time of the year.
Oh, yeah,
I don't care for that.
We're playing TPC, the same one Steve played, the champion course.
Can you sneak on?
Crazy expensive.
Can you start on the second hole?
Nope. Gonna have to just bite the bullet and pay it. But I really want to play it, so I'm looking forward to it.
I think you're going to get down to a 5 this year.
Oh.
Wow, I think he just didn't experience pleasure.
That's all I want, man.
Finished.
That's all I want. Just get low. Go low.
Now, what was that sign?
Hey, your turn, Doug. We're all moaning.
No, I'm not moaning.
Doug, here, this will help you finish. This is the Help I Sexted My Boss podcast. Take a listen. We have some of the...
I went through a bit of a slutty phase, and it was during this time that I met a sexy elder bear through a gay hookup.
Oh.
I don't mind an older man, so one thing led to another, and I found myself back at his place. As things were getting hot, I laid back and let him go to work on me, if you know what I mean. A few minutes passed, and I had my eyes closed, enjoying the moment, when I suddenly heard a clink-clink sound on the bedside table. I turned my head to look at where the noise was coming from, to discover a full set of false teeth staring back at me from a glass of water on the bedside table.
Christ, how old was he?
I then realised that my hookup had taken them out and was now giving me what I can only describe as a gum job.
Oh, gum drop! Oh!
Gum
I
job.
don't think he said drum.
Not wanting to be rude, not wanting to be rude, I let him finish what he was doing.
You could say he was a gummy bear.
Why don't we do that podcast?
They're having a good time with it.
They probably got a bunch of sponsors.
They get erotic stories.
They do. We don't get them on QFTA.
Yeah, they send them all to these 2 British guys.
Yeah.
It's a real shame.
There aren't a lot of people anymore with a full set of false teeth, are they? I know that used to be a thing, but
I guess
now,
over in the UK. They've always had a dental issue there.
But dentistry has improved so much in recent years that I don't think there's a lot of even older people that have no teeth left.
You couldn't hear clacking in a glass of water.
What do you mean?
Maybe just set it on the table.
He said he heard a clicking noise. He looked and the teeth are just moving by itself in the glass.
I think the action of putting the teeth in the gloss.
Thank you.
So what? He said, hold on a second, I'm going to take them out. You wouldn't notice that?
I think you're focusing on the wrong detail here, baby.
Yeah, it's a made-up story. I'm trying to poke holes in it.
Yeah. Well, they're all made up. So we just kind of go along with it.
We don't know that it's made up.
I'm sure it was.
How about this? Jeremy Rutherford, who's going to join us in 10 minutes, Doug, getting you ready for the Blues and Canucks.
Okay.
Tomorrow night. Tweeted out that he's joining the TMA STL crew around 9 a.m. Central. It's interesting that he said around. I wonder what that's about.
Well, because we don't know ourselves. We're so busy. We have so much to get to.
And then a lady wrote, OMG, so jealous. Have a blast with the TMA STL crew. Wow. Doug, Iggy, it's another female listener.
And
They're everywhere.
What's her name? Bill?
She has an OnlyFans link in her Twitter bio.
Oh, really?
So it
Yeah, you know what she does?
Check this
I
out.
didn't catch that.
No.
So it probably is a guy.
It's Lil Miss Laura.
She's just like retweeting Des Bryant tweets.
I guess we got to get her on.
No.
Des Bryant.
I'll send a DM now.
She was so excited that he was joining the show. I'm like, God, I feel like the female listeners, we could like name them on one hand.
What's her OnlyFans account?
Doug?
I don't know.
It's OnlyFans league season.
Oh, yeah. Sneaker.
Is it Little Miss what?
I don't know.
Is that Little Miss Sunshine with
I
Greg
don't
Kinnear?
know.
Ugh.
What, didn't like the picture?
Not terrible. I get that confused with Driving Miss Daisy, so apologies there.
Hoke. Was that Morgan Freeman's character's name, Hoke?
I don't
And then Dan Aykroyd. And he made the transition to dramatic actor at that point with the darling Jessica Tandy.
Dan Aykroyd was one guy who was very successful, and I just didn't think he was funny.
Remember him?
You know,
What about
almost anything.
Spies Like Us?
Was he in that?
Wow.
Pretty funny in Trading Places.
He just didn't hit me as funny. Maybe because he looks like a normal guy.
What about Dragnet with the Virgin Connie Swale?
Well, you know, it's just me. I know the rest of the world seems to find him hysterical, but to me, he just wasn't that for some reason. I don't know. He's been very successful, though.
What about this Little Miss Laura? You found her?
I don't know.
I'm going to.
You're not going to find
He's
her
on a
there.
mission right now.
Yeah.
Little Miss Laura.
I found her.
What do you got? What do you got going on?
How old is she?
What is Little Miss Laura?
That's her name.
C1. What is it? /C1.
Isn't it like the school districts in Jefferson County?
I gotta type that in to look for a leak.
You're about to get like a bug.
Yeah, your phone will probably blow up.
Yeah, it's gonna be like smoking.
Mm-hmm.
No, look.
What do you got?
All it takes
I'm
is
looking.
one fake girl to just throw this show completely off course. That's all it takes.
Little Miss Laura, OnlyFans leak.
Yeah. You find anything?
She doesn't look like she'd be that popular. So I'm sure.
Oh, God, Doug. I think we just lost a fan.
Mm-hmm.
Damn it.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll try to. I don't know how we're going to get back.
It looks like there aren't many matches for your search.
So it's probably not real.
No, it's just nobody's.
Leaked it yet.
Yeah, nobody's.
That's right. You just called out his hand.
Someone's got to be
His
the
king
murderer.
eye.
I mean, that's all I got from her one picture.
Looks like an ass.
Yeah, that's all I got.
Okay.
That'll do, though.
Oh, boy, it's a girl.
No, I only charge $20 a month.
For that. Now, why would you pay for that
I wouldn't.
when there's porn everywhere on the internet? Why would you pay for that?
Iggy doesn't. He's
I
proud
wouldn't.
to let you know.
I just go for the leaks.
Leaks.
Okay. Well,
So that's no pictures of her. So
no.
How about this, Plowhawk? This is going to get you going.
Oh, I can't wait.
Four-time major champion Rory McIlroy says he regrets being too quick to judge players who joined Live Golf. It now accepts that the Saudi-backed league is part of the sport. McIlroy has been a vocal critic since the Breakaway Tour launched in 2022 and signed up a host of big names, causing a rift that threatened to tear golf apart. He previously accused some golfers who defected from the PGA Tour as being duplicitous and said he would rather retire than join Live. But McIlroy now says that it is no longer his job to fight that battle. Quote, I think at this point I was maybe a little judgmental of the guys who went to Live Golf at the start. And I think it was a bit of a mistake on my part because I now realize that not everyone is in my position or in Tiger Woods' position, McIlroy told the Stick to Football podcast. We all turn professional to making a living playing the sports that we do, and I think that's what I realized over the last 2 years. I can't judge people for making that decision. That is Rory McIlroy, Doug, on the Stick to Football.
Sounds like you got an offer from Liv.
You think he's going to Liv?
This is what it sounds like when it's crumbling right in front of you. It's a little too late it's too little too late for an apology 2 years after. And what he said, not only on the Netflix special, what he said on the microphone and how demeaning he's been to the entire league. And like, the apology means nothing. I do think it means that Liv is about to take over and he is trying to save some face. I didn't think it took him 2 years to realize not every golfer is making $150 million and another $30 million a year in advertising. It took him this long to realize that?
Yeah.
These dudes are out here trying to make a living.
I sense that his regret is he blindly, irresponsibly trusted Jay Monahan and whoever else was in control at the PGA Tour, and then became the face of the tour from the player side of it, and felt like he was absolutely burned. I mean, if you notice, he hasn't been doing a whole lot of talking about Liv ever since June, I think it was June 6th, when we were sitting here doing the show, and all of a sudden, Jay Monahan sitting with Yasser Al-Rumayyan, and I think he just felt like, holy crap, you guys absolutely burned me. And he's embarrassed by his, I guess, if you would want to call it, gullible investment in Monahan and the PGA Tour. That's what I sense it as. I don't think he's sitting there thinking that like Liv Golf and Team Golf and like the cliques are going to, take over sport. I think he's going, I can't believe that I took the side of Monahan and then cast stones at guys, many of whom, as he makes reference to, aren't making close to the kind of money he's making, along with the Tiger and Justin Thomas and Jordan Spieth, and even Ricky Fowler, who up until last year wasn't really playing well for a number of years, but has a bunch of marketing dollars, and is going, holy crap, I turned on the guys who have been out here playing and stood by Monahan, and now I feel like an ass. That's what I think that is. But maybe I'm wrong. Hell, I don't know. What do I know?
Remember how vindictive the PGA Tour was to Cam Smith when he first went out? Wasn't he was a former major champion, and he went back to repeat, and his parking spot wasn't there because somebody parked in his spot? Like, all those players, along with Rory, the Netflix Full Swing thing was so cringy to watch. That's why this apology, if I'm Liv or anybody associated, it means nothing because of how just vicious and how constantly Rory McIlroy, anytime there was a mic in front of his face for a year and a half, spewed absolute hate, vileness, and obviously spewed lies as well to the national media about Liv. So this apology means nothing. He is still a little slimy. I'm not a fan of. I am not a fan of Rory McIlroy and what he represents. I think he's a faux face of golf. Hasn't won a major in 9 years. Dude is. And just, I think this is going to hurt his legacy even more so.
He says, I wouldn't say I've lost the fight against Liv, but I've just accepted the fact that this is part of our sport now. Competition is good to help improve the sport of golf overall, but the PGA Tour competing with Liv and the Saudi money is completely unsustainable. You're never going to win a fight if you're going money for money, because we've seen that in other sports where no one is spending money like the Saudis. I've come to realize that if you've got people or a sovereign wealth fund spending money in your sport, ultimately that's a good thing, McIlroy said of Saudi Arabia's Public Investment Fund, a.k.a. the PIF. But you want them to spend it the right way and spend it on things that are important to the game. Instead of giving someone $100 million, why don't you put $50 million into a grassroots program for the Royal and Ancient Golf Club or the United States Golf Association so that you can help to grow the game and not spend it trying to buy talent?
Oh, my God, I love that. He picked the poor side. The poor side needs money, and now Liv is supposed to, in good faith, to show that they want to grow the game, give the league, who was bashing them and said they were responsible for 9/11, a bunch of money so they can sustain being the number one golf. That isn't, like, it's literally begging to just mercy, 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 the white flag, please just let us have our league and you have yours. I think he knows where it's going. and he's trying to get in front of it. Too late, bud. If I'm Liv, I'm loving this because I would never let that dude, that slimy guy, in anywhere near my league. I just hope it crushes him.
How much more does golf need growing? I mean, it's played all over the world. The major tournaments sell out. They've got big TV contracts.
Well, I think growing the game was just like the thing you said when you went over there. I mean, Saudi Arabia's goal isn't to grow the game of golf, and nor is it John Rahm's goal to grow the game of golf. They just want to make money, and I respect that. God bless America.
Right.
Or, I guess in this case, other nations.
But he's saying give the money to the USGA, to the Royal Ancient to help grow the game.
Yeah.
Really? How much more are you going to grow it?
I mean,
Give us money so we can keep this sustainable is what it is. We don't want to compete. We can't compete.
I guess you could grow it by building more courses, maybe, making it
Cheaper
less expensive
is
so
how
more
you
people
grow
can
it.
play. Yeah. But that's not going to happen either.
The $500 drivers aren't going to grow the game. The new $2,500 set of irons that you don't get pitching wedge with aren't growing the game.
Or $250 to play a round of golf.
These companies and these people that are involved in golf trying to figure out all these ways to get people in it besides making it cheaper. It's so fun.
It would grow the game to put it into municipal courses so that the average Joe can play on a decent course.
like Normandy, which is currently under renovation.
Right, that
Opening in 2025.
That kind of thing, where you could still play a round of golf for $40 or $50 on a nice course.
Alan Dadeville is interacting with Laura, who replied to Jeremy Rutherford's tweet about appearing on our show. I just asked Laura what her favorite SEC school is. My guess is Ole Miss. That's from Al, and he is in Dadeville.
Okay, we're not going to be able to get away from this Laura gal now, are we?
Are we back?
That's going to be it. We're going to keep coming right back to her no matter what we talk about.
Our listeners are interacting with Laura on Twitter, I gather.
We had a really deep philosophical golf discussion on helping the poor man play the game. Nope, it's all about Laura, Laura, Laura. And I'm tired of it.
Well, she listens to the show, obviously, so go ahead and text in.
But it's a guy pretending to be someone named Laura with
No, I
an
don't think so.
OnlyFans account.
I want your OnlyFans account. There's a picture of a butt.
Oh, boy, I'm sold.
You can AI.
Can't get that anywhere.
There was a picture of her face in the in her profile on Twitter.
Can't just get a picture of a girl anywhere either.
I guess you could. I've been fake before.
Mm-hmm. They say it's a lot easier to fool someone than to get them to admit that they've been fooled.
I'm just gullible.
Yeah. Well, don't be too hard on yourself.
I'm not.
Oh my God, Salami Strode is so thirsty. That's from Colts Texans preview author Brian Henshin.
What does that mean? I'm thirsty.
I like that.
Doug, we need a break because Jeremy Rutherford is going to join us. Presented to you by Mark Hanna of Evergreen Wealth Strategies. Can Buck Swope continue this streak and win again in 2024? Find out at 9:45, the morning after at InsideSTL.com. That's the Design, Air, Heating, and Cooling email of the day. Jackson, tell Doug what's coming up on the award-winning Munganess Burkhardt Alton Toyota presentation of Balloon Party, airing from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m.
Wide Berth Wednesday.
Woot! Another way of saying we don't really have anything yet. We just hope something comes up.
Yesterday's show was easy. I'm curious where you're going here.
Yeah, well, we're digging.
Maybe the Cardinals will make a trade in the next hour.
There's an article today in the Post-Dispatch with quotes from the Cardinals brass at the winter meetings, and I'm going, oh boy. About chemistry and signing older players because they lost the presence of Molina and Pools and now Wainwright, and that's why they signed the older pitchers.
Sure it is.
Probably going to fade that one.
Sure it is.
Today's the day where I earn my paycheck.
Yeah, and then we got QFTA at 11:15 live on the TMA YouTube channel. Jackson and I, 3 shows a day.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess when the weather warms up, that's when I go, I think I'm going to go play golf.
Pre-record them.
Yeah. All right, we got to go. JR is coming up next, brought to you by Mark Hanna. This is TMA, presented to you by Brown & Crouppen.
Rosalitas know that a fun happy hour and scenic patio go together like fresh guac and chips. So take advantage of their covered patio this fall and winter at their De Pere location and enjoy happy hour specials Monday through Friday from 3 to 6. Their sparkling margarita is made with Chambord raspberry liqueur and topped with a bottle of rosé prosecco. They also have a variety of delicious margarita flavors, including mango, pomegranate, and blood orange, all made with top-shelf tequila and Cointreau. With phenomenal service, great margaritas, and a breathtaking atmosphere, there's always a reason to come to Rosalitas.
Hey, this is Tim McKernan, and I am here with a great TMA sponsor, and that is Longo Biggs Injury Law Firm. And you may hear a bunch of out-of-state law firms advertising here and there all over on billboards and so on and so forth. But the thing is, oftentimes their goal is to just settle and move on, and that's not what you guys do.
Yeah, this is CD Longo, and you hear us talking a lot about maximizing the value of cases, but what does that actually mean? Well, as Tim said, there's lots of personal injury lawyers in St. Louis, and everyone handles cases differently. We focus on getting the highest dollar amount for your injuries, not just getting a resolution quickly. We're constantly tracking all the settlements and verdicts in the area. This helps us advise our clients on whether a settlement offer is too low. And if the amount of compensation being offered is too low, we are happy to file lawsuits and proceed to trial to ensure our clients receive an amount that is fair. Visit our website or Google us at Longo Biggs Injury Law.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
You've heard us talking about Mark Hanna from Evergreen Wealth Strategies. Mark and his team provide a personalized, holistic approach discussing cash flow, liquidity, debt, investments, insurance, taxes, and they pull it all together into a strategy that fits for each individual client. Start the new year off with a judgment-free conversation with Mark Hanna. Visit evergreenstl.com to learn more. Mark Hanna offers securities through Equitable Advisors, LLC, member FINRA, SIPC, a broker-dealer. Equitable Advisors, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor. Evergreen Wealth Strategies is not a registered investment advisor and is not owned or operated by Equitable Advisors or Equitable Network.
Here's Action Jackson with 3 more ways to get TMA content.
Get the TMA mobile app and enable notifications so you don't miss a thing. See our content on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok. And stream us on the TMA mobile app and at TMASTL.com.
Thanks, Jackson. It's the Brown and Crouppen Morning After on 105.7 FM HD2.
Urban Dictionary defines thirsty as purposely, knowingly, and recklessly attempting to gain fame to boost self-esteem. So, are you thirsty? Well, TMA has you covered. Become a part of the 2023 TMA Listener of the Month Club. You nominate yourself for a monthly award. And if you win, you get recognition and stuff to help you satisfy that insatiable thirst. We're talking January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, etc. Go to TMASTL.com or the TMA app. Give us your name, a photo, and other pertinent information. Tell us why you deserve to be TMA Listener of the Month. And if you don't want to use your real name or photo, we don't really care. The TMA Listener of the Month. Get recognized just for being you, or fake you, or whatever. Quenched by Milagro Tequila. Welcome to the brighter side of tequila with Milagro in the morning after on KPNT HD2.
Bet like the pros with the world's largest sports book right at your fingertips. Circus Sports is now available in Illinois. Hi, I'm Derek Stevens. I've been a lifelong sports bettor and I'm the owner of Circus Sports. We're excited that the Circus Sports app is now ready for action. Experience big app bets with high betting limits, tight money line splits, and more. Now you can download, fund, and bet like a pro from anywhere in Illinois. Download your new bookie today at circusports.com. If you or someone you know may have a problem with gambling, call 1-800-GAMBLER or text ILGAMB to 833-234.
Biggie's Restaurant and Bar has been a staple of the community for over 30 years and is serving your favorites like the steak sandwich, waffle fries, and so much more. It's not just the food that's rocking. With a full bar and patio, Biggie's is the perfect spot for lunch, dinner, and a little laughter. Biggie's original hours are back. Open 11 a.m. till midnight, Wednesday, Thursday, and Sunday. And 11 a.m. till 1 a.m. on Friday and Saturday. Check out the full menu at biggiesrestaurant.com and stop in today.
When we think of a real estate agent, we think of somebody simply selling our home or finding us a new one. I mean, they're all the same, right?
Okay, here's the comps. We'll take some pics, we'll post them, and I'll get back to you, okay?
A home is life-changing, and your real estate agent should reflect that. Honesty, integrity, and someone who will go above and beyond to make your dreams come true.
The Jeff Lutman Group with Compass Realty. We're different because you're different. We want what you want. Experience the difference today at jefflutman.com, bringing people and properties together.
The Tim McKernan Show podcast, featuring long-form interviews with people from the world of sports, politics, and entertainment.
And our guest today, Bill McClellan. Thanks so much for coming in.
Hey, my pleasure, Tim.
What's up, Caden?
Hi, how are you?
Joe Buck, our guest today.
Man, it's like I haven't seen you in years.
More than 500 episodes and counting, and it's available wherever you get your podcasts, including the TMA STL app. Get the app now at TMASTL.com. Live from the Michelob Ultra Studios, KPNT FM HD2, Collinsville, St. Louis. This is TMA All Day. Now,
It's the Brown and Crouppen Morning After.
On KPNT HD2, Collinsville, St. Louis.
Yeah, I guess you're right. This Wednesday is sick. If you're watching on YouTube, you just noticed that there's a hot boy in Iggy's chair, Doug. And his name's Mark Hanna of Evergreen Wealth Strategies.
That's why I'm sitting over there. Hello,
Online at
Hansy.
evergreenstl.com. How many times have you gone to Grossi's in 2024?
Today's going to be the first day.
Yeah,
Haven't been there yet.
Went to the Shack a couple times with my family during the break. Right by your office.
Pounds. Yeah, delicious. It's outstanding. First rate.
Every time I order Grossi's here, right here at this station, and every time I go up, the owner will always say, "I saw your order."
Oh,
They're so nice there.
It's good to be known.
So they're listeners of the program. Then,
Correct.
right?
Yeah, I
Is
know
that
the owner
correct?
for sure does.
Loyal. I go in, though, and they've all got a little smirk going on as if they know that there's something just not right about this program.
Oh,
what would that be, Doug?
Can't imagine.
I don't know
Iggy's
myself.
currently looking for OnlyFans leaks based on somebody who tweeted at Jeremy Rutherford about his appearance that you sponsor. And we haven't discovered whether or not she's real or not, but he did find a picture of her butt, he said. She's
not.
Don't forget, yesterday a sponsor went into a therapy session with Iggy about banging his aunt.
That's correct. Title sponsor.
What?
In fact. Design Air is the sponsor of the email today. It's coming your way at 9:45. So far, Mark, Buck Swope has won every email of the day competition in 2024, and we think he might run the table.
I am voting proactively Emailer of the Year.
Buck Swope.
Buck Swope.
Wow. Really? No fooling. You ever sent an email yourself?
I got Email of the Day once.
Wow, how'd that feel?
It felt good. It felt really, really good. Thank you so much.
I bet it did.
Yeah.
You had something to get off your chest with it.
I did. It was about myself.
Yeah, well, that would fit in.
Absolutely. I can't imagine what that. I see that the listeners are now tweeting at Laura, who Iggy is.
Poor guy.
Somebody asked her, have you ever been with a woman? Doug, that was asked by C0466525.
Yeah, trying desperately to hide his identity. Why wouldn't you?
It's safer that way. Do not use your government name.
Let's bring Jeremy Rutherford on. He is presented every Wednesday at 9 a.m. by this gentleman right here, Mark Hanna, Evergreen Wealth Strategies. Good morning, JR.
Morning, guys. Mark, how you guys doing?
Wonderful. Did you know that this Laura who responded to your tweet about your appearance on TMA, Iggy has discovered she has an OnlyFans account.
Imagine that.
And is currently looking her up.
This started about a week ago, this Laura responding to each tweet, which it's automatic. Like, as soon as I tweet something, it takes over.
Oh, so this, hold on a second, Doug, this might not be real.
Yeah, this is like an AI bot here. And what's unique about this is usually you get the bots that pop up after you tweet, but this one grabs a few words from your tweet and actually makes a sentence out of it. So for a second, I thought I did have a girlfriend going there.
Now, Iggy looked her up and said he saw a picture of her butt, so he believes she's real.
Must be real, yeah.
They don't have those sort of pictures out on the internet.
No, you can't find them anywhere.
Post.
Yeah, it has to be taken just a few moments ago.
Yeah, it is. It's something that yesterday I think I went on 101 ESPN. She responded right away, hey, go on there and spill a bunch of tea. So she doesn't make complete sentences, but,
spill a bunch of tea? Is that a code word for something?
Lean hard into this, JR. You got to milk this for everything it's worth. Make it worth the while. Entertain the show.
I was Googling it to see if spill the tea meant something. But...
Does it?
Jackson?
No.
I should ask
Jackson. Iggy. He would
Is
know
Jackson
better than I
gone
would.
again? We're hearing rumors of Jackson resigning from the shows, JR, so it might be something you might want to cover.
Ronnie's management position opened up, and he's hopping on it.
Jackson!
What's up?
There he is. He wasn't there again.
Yeah.
So, sorry, that time I was actually getting coffee. What's the word?
How about you get coffee on your own time and be here when we need yous?
I don't mean to throw any of our cohorts under the bus.
Uh-oh.
But I spent most of my break doing Iggy's time card.
Oh, God.
So I really wanted to get coffee during the break. And again, not making excuses, not throwing anyone under the bus. But I heard you guys yelling at me in the break room. So I was like, I gotta come back. So let me go get my coffee and then I can answer.
Okay, you left the coffee.
Oh my
gosh.
That time card's got to be wore out as much as I see Iggy outside smoking by the station.
You see him there every time you come?
Yeah, every time.
I know.
Yesterday.
I come walking in and I see his eyes light up and he knows. He gets to sit outside for a while.
Yeah, he likes it. He likes it when you and James Carlton come in. Absolutely. Now Ed Herman and Andy Crouppen.
He's a wise man.
He knows his stuff. JR, the Blues with a bigger break here than they had for what Doug calls prominent winter holiday.
Christmas.
Because they lost on both Friday and Saturday to the Avalanche, and the Penguins don't play again until tomorrow night against the Canucks. Two different types of losses, though, I would say, in the Colorado one and in the Pittsburgh one. Your assessment of those back-to-back games?
Yeah, I think the Colorado game, guys, played some pretty good hockey. Should have come away with at least a point there, if not two. Late goal by Colorado, so they lose that one. And then Pittsburgh, I thought they played hard, and they're continuing to do some of the things they do, Tim, but just some glaring mistakes, and the margin for error with this team isn't very big right now. So they can't afford the dumb penalties. They can't afford to hit the post 4 times, and can't afford to give up the PK goals. So I think that things seem to be still trending up, even though they've lost a couple in a row. But they get this break. But guys, look at this schedule coming up here. They're going to play Vancouver, the top team in the West, on Thursday here at Enterprise Center. The next 5 opponents are Vancouver, as I mentioned, top of the West, and then the top 4 teams in the East, Carolina, Florida, New York Rangers, Boston. So some stiff competition coming up here. Laura, the bot girl on Twitter, would like the stiff competition reference there.
Ooh, nice, Doug.
Nice. Yeah, you kind of weaved that in.
Yeah, weaved it in nicely.
Mm-hmm.
Real nice, like.
Yeah. You're kind of learning how the game works, aren't you, my friend?
just the show.
Mm-hmm. Can't get away with that on other shows? Stiff competition. Oh, ho, ho, ho.
I haven't tried it yet.
All right. Well, you may want to.
JR, what do you think of the evolution? Are you seeing any big changes in the messaging or how the new coach is approaching things with the team in preparation, especially as we come into a tougher stretch for the Blues relative to where they were before? Any big changes?
Yeah, not necessarily the messaging, Mark. Sorry to interrupt you, but I think I think fresh voice. It's cliche, but it's a thing. It really is a thing. And so Drew comes in, and he's a fresh voice, and he's got the ear of some of these players. And I think the other thing is, you're always trying to press the new boss. And then the other thing is, I've noticed this over the years. You start to look at the standings as you get into January. Hey, what do we need to do? It's almost like players and teams measure. Hey, what do we got to do? Are we 5 points out? Are we 3 points up? What are we doing? And I think some of these veterans see that they're in the middle and still have a chance of that wild card spot halfway through the season almost, and they say that, hey, we can make the playoffs. So it seems you always seem to see teams pick up the intensity as you get around this time of the year.
I know you had a good rapport with Craig Berube. What is he doing right now? Is he still in St. Louis, moved out, or what's his routine now?
As far as I know, I haven't spoken to him since I did that piece a few weeks ago, but he was going back to Philadelphia to spend time with his wife, and he's got 2 15-year-old twins. And when I asked him what was next, he said, we'll see. I had heard that there were already 2 or 3 teams hot after him in terms of coaching. I asked if that would be a situation that could come to fruition this year during the season, or if he'd wait till next year, and he said it depended on the situation. So like all coaches, what he told me was he's just looking for the best situation, so however long that takes to develop.
Mr. Siders is sending in questions. We welcome you to send in questions as well. 314-881-285. Yeah, Doug, there are two-parters oftentimes on this program. Isn't it fun that people send in two-part questions?
It's a good time. Yeah.
JR,
really
in your opinion, does Bannister or Berube mesh better with the players this year? Also, a little birdie told me that the NHL is organizing a player and media-wide all-guy gangbang, and I was wondering if I could be your +1. That's from Mr. Siders.
Gosh.
Is that true? The NHL.
You don't have to answer these. You don't have to.
Sweet. What's the date?
Let's go back to Drew and Craig Berube. I mentioned I think the fresh voice helps, but also you look at Drew. He's a little bit younger, 48 years old. He's been coaching the young players in the American Hockey League for the past several years, and I think these players, a lot of them who've played for him, really relate to him. So I think that's a big thing. And unfortunately, I'm already taking my brother as the +1.
Oh, wow.
That's creepy.
What's wrong with taking your brother to a gangbang?
It's a boy thing.
It's supposed to be brother-in-law.
God, I like that.
Gosh.
Doug, just for a brief aside, I'm digging into this Laura, and I'm starting to think she's not real.
Of course she's not real.
I've been retweeting a number of her tweets.
Why, does she have a sick grandma and looking for a GoFundMe?
Starting to think she's not real, so Iggy might have been duped. And she gets in arguments with Des Bryant. She really does.
Yeah. He retweeted her one time thinking she was real.
Yeah, how about this?
Not that I've looked into it or anything.
No, you probably shouldn't.
JR, this time was the time last year where the Blues had a big homestand, and that was kind of the do-or-die moment for the way Doug Armstrong and the organization would approach the deadline, and as things turned out, they died. Is there some kind of critical point in the season approaching, again, this team in a better spot in the standings than that one was? But still, it's not like I think fans are sitting around thinking that this is a team with a super high ceiling at this moment. Of course, many will hearken back 5 years ago when the team was, sitting in Philadelphia and Gloria played, and 6 months later, they're hoisting the chalice. But I don't think necessarily people feel the ingredients are in place for this one to go on that kind of a run. So are we approaching a critical point in the season for the determination of what they do?
Yeah, I think so. I think last year at this time, nobody had faith in this team going anywhere, making the playoffs, let alone if you did make the playoffs, were you going to do anything? And I think this year, this is a critical time here. You sit, a couple points out of a wild card spot. It is possible to make the postseason, I think. But here's the way I believe Doug Armstrong's looking at it is, hey, we're going to put this lineup out there. If we can make some tweaks, we will. We're not going to do anything significant. We certainly aren't going to trade any assets or young players or prospects unless we don't see them in our future to make this team any better. And hey, if we make it, we make it, and we'll see what happens. But I think that there's more belief in this team in terms of a chance to make the playoffs, maybe not do much damage, but they're certainly not going to, alter the future plans to make that happen.
So you don't think that if they are in a good position moving ahead, that third spot that they were talking about before the season, you don't think that they would be prone to try to move assets, trying to go, if not all in, more in? You think they're going to hold serve more than anything?
Yeah, but I think that, let's say they play pretty good hockey, and I mentioned that stretch that's coming up. It's pretty brutal. So, if you get through that and you've beaten a handful of those types of teams and you're in that third place / wild card spot, then there's probably a little more belief than we're talking about here today and in early January. But, that's not going to lead to the Blues, and I know you're not insinuating this, but trading one of these top prospects that they have coming up. I think, maybe if there's a guy in Springfield, a Bolduc, a Zach Dean, or, a defenseman, somebody like that, where they say, okay, we can part with this prospect and maybe a pick to get a little bit better and give ourselves a little bit better chance in the playoffs. Maybe they'll do that, but certainly we're not going to hear names like Snuggerud, Dvorsky, those types of guys heading into the deadline.
Other side of that, you think they'd be willing to sell if it doesn't go well?
Yeah, I think that's possible for sure. That's probably actually a better, situation. I think that could happen. You're looking at some names. They tried to move Krug, it didn't work. You got Brandon Saad. He's a guy who maybe could help some people. The name that everybody likes here in St. Louis in terms of a contract extension is Pavel Buchnevich. But what if he's looking for 8 times 8? And at 30 years old, he's going to be an older player, and they feel like they're still in the retool for a couple more years, and they got young guys on the way. Do they, if there's interest there, which there would be, do they decide to part with him? I don't see that at this point, but I definitely think they have some names that if they're not there at the deadline, we could see a couple guys gone like last year.
Could Stéphane Richer be available?
Oh, Doug.
How about Michel Bunny Larocque? Remember him?
Yeah.
No, you don't remember. You're not old enough for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Well, anyway, I just wanted to say the name.
Kevin LaValle could skate a wing.
Yeah.
Well, sure he could.
Hey, JR, can you comment on the play of Robert Thomas? And can you also tell us if you prefer Doug's butt or Jackson's butt?
Oh, no, you don't have to answer.
We can all agree both are very nice. That's from the Pope.
Awful.
Butt sandwich.
Awful.
Been doing this 2 years, and as you're reading the Robert Thomas question, I'm still looking for a punchline on that. But, Robert Thomas, elite level, guys, this is the player that you'd hope he would be. I think he's ascending to that. Drew Bannister called him a star yesterday. The one thing you talk about, everybody always wants to talk about points, but with me, with people who are covering the Blues, you look at all the check marks, defending the other team's best players, face-offs. Those are things that are so important, things that Ryan O'Reilly did that go way beyond the points, and I think that Robert Thomas has reached that level.
You think we'll start to see more of Joel Hofer? His numbers are better than Bennington this year. He's played pretty well.
I think it's possible maybe in stretches. I don't think big picture we'll see, Hofer get 75% of the starts or anything like that. I think Bennington, when he's on his game, and he has been a lot this season, is the guy that they're going to go to. There has been a rough patch here lately where he let in some goals, and sometimes you can blame the defense, but I think a few of these are probably more on Bennington than they have been in the past, and so Holford did get a couple good starts and look great. So we'll see after the long layoff here. I think they'd go back to Bennington Thursday against Vancouver, but certainly the schedule is going to get compacted and pretty heavy down the stretch, so they use both of them.
Jeremy Rutherford with us, brought to you by Mark Hanna, Evergreen Wealth Strategies. Mark is in studio with us, and you can find him at evergreenstl.com or 314-889-0503. Final question for you, and this is Doug my own, and there is not a second part, to be real candid.
Good.
But I'm curious, what percentage would you allocate to Drew Bannister being the replacement, the permanent replacement for Craig Berube? And I realize Berube got the job because of the run that the team went on starting in January. His start wasn't great the first month and a half after Mike Yeo was fired. Drew Bannister's has been fine, but it certainly hasn't been, some kind of absurd run. Do you think that they are seriously considering him, or do you think that they are going to go a different direction?
What I think is this with the coaching situation with Drew is I think he has a good shot at the job. I think if he continues to put in, some good work here where you see the habits start to turn and they start to do some things on a more consistent basis, which we have seen. Forget about the wins and losses. I mean, they're doing some things better. Even though the power plays let them down a few times under Drew Bannister, there's some movement. They could shoot more. I think that if there's a no-brainer out there, and I'm just throwing out names here, Joel Quenneville, I know that Rod Brindamore has a foundation there in Carolina and isn't likely to leave, but he doesn't have a contract, so anything's possible. If there's a no-brainer contract candidate out there where Doug Armstrong can say, look, there's no way I could look away from this guy, then I think he's going to go that direction. But I think meanwhile, as he continues to watch Drew Bannister, just as he watched Craig Berube in 2019 turn things around, we're not going to get to that level where you turn things around and you're playing for a cup this year. But I think if what he wants from Drew Bannister, accountability and compete, continues to show up, I think that he's got a real good chance. And the one thing I keep going back to, Tim, is this. Not only do they need a guy who wants and can help the team win now, but they have to have a guy who can groom these young players coming up through the system. That's the future, and that's what Drew Bannister has done the past, 5-6 years in this organization with a lot of these young players. So I think that's what gives them some legitimacy.
There it is. Jeremy Rutherford every Wednesday at 9 a.m., presented by Mark Hanna, Evergreen Wealth Strategies. Thank you, JR.
Thanks, boys. Talk to you next week.
All
right,
Jeremy Rutherford. And Lisa, his friend from the Twitter tweets.
Laura.
Is it Laura?
It was Laura.
Yeah, that chick ain't real at all.
Laura. What? Hold on a second.
I
Is
looked
she
at
changing it by the minute?
It's Laura. Doug's right. Plowhawk, I see you just tweeted something. Oh, is this just like a take? Jalen Milroe over Cook is wild. You put Cook on Bama last night. They win that game. Who's Cook? Who are we talking about here?
Brady Cook.
Brady Cook.
I was thinking, what about the low snap? I don't think Brady Cook would have, with that O-line, done.
Is that a Mizzou fan guy, or is that?
I don't know. I didn't look at who it was. I just saw the tweet and had
He's
to immediately.
in St. Louis.
I mean, I'm not saying Milroe played well, but Cook at 112. And I'm a Brady Cook guy. And everybody wanted Sam Horn. You remember who wanted Brady Cook, and that was me. So I'm not bashing Brady Cook, but Milroe wasn't the whole problem there for Alabama. I think the offensive line, the center mainly.
Yeah, I mean,
Milroe did have a fumble,
to Michigan's
but
defense for able to do what they did. And yes, the center had issues. I mean, if that were Missouri, I'd be freaking out because we still talk about Tollison's snap to Cook against LSU. I guess this came from a tweet in which they ranked the SEC quarterbacks this year. I don't know who would disagree with Jaden Daniels being number one. I think Jaden Daniels was the best player in college football, period. Carson Beck, 2. I think it's up for grabs after that. Jackson Dart, 3. Jalen Milroe, 4. Brady Cook, 5. Spencer Rattler, 6.
I think it was a good top 5. When I read the tweet, it wasn't the fact that Milroe's ahead of Cook or whatever. I mean, that doesn't matter to me. The fact that you think Brady Cook would have changed the outcome to that Alabama game, it wasn't a quarterback issue.
As a very casual, Tim, you talk about the casual fan for Mizzou. And the Mizzou season brought me in. I was watching the games.
That's the name of the game.
Absolutely. I reflect to earlier in the season when you heard everyone who was on the inside saying that Brady Cook is the real deal. And on the
Chase
outside,
Chase
said
Daniel's the one
Yep.
where I go, okay, he doesn't need to, it's one thing if you got a guy who works for the university saying something, you go, okay, it's in one ear out the other. I think even audience members know that. I'm not saying like audience isn't as sophisticated as us media people. We're the ones who made the bad career choice. But we also kind of know the song and dance that guys have to say certain things. Well, they don't have to, but they do because they want the paycheck. Chase Daniel didn't need a paycheck. My God. I mean, that guy's sitting on 9 figures net worth, and he's probably still in his 30s.
And never got hit.
I mean, he's in a great spot. And I think, and the thing that Missouri fans, now, the thing about him getting booed at the K-State game, I'm still skeptical of that, but whatever, it's neither here nor there. Some fans say he wasn't booed. Drinkwitz was booed because of the Middle Tennessee State game the week before, and Drinkwitz was just doing performance art.
Call that what it is.
Yeah, so whatever. Neither here nor there. For some Missouri fans who aren't anti-Cook, the thought process was Sam Horn would be a higher ceiling than Brady Cook, but he also would have a lower floor. So that was the discussion that I recall at the beginning of the season, but I don't know who could have possibly seen what you saw coming from Cook and Schrader. And if anything, I would say in the second half of the season, Luther Burden, who I think was hurt, but was underwhelming, I mean, and that's not a shot. I just don't think Luther Burden in the first half of the season against Kansas State and against LSU in particular was Heisman Trophy-esque. Now, he wasn't getting that attention because nobody was paying attention to Missouri at that time, but holy crap, they were just throwing it up to him left and right. As the season progressed, you had weapons. They really diversified their weapons at wide receiver. And Luther Burden, I don't even think he caught a ball until the second half, I think. Maybe he caught one right at the end of the first half.
One short little pass.
At the end of the Cotton Bowl?
For a yard or two.
So I don't know what the deal with that was.
But all of these things are reasons why you look at, and obviously there's a lot that needs to evolve. You saw Brady Cook finally figure it out, and hats off to the guy, and you love to see it as a casual fan, see a guy go from trying to figure it out. Obviously, he had the pieces. Chase Daniel saw it, the coaching staff saw it, and then to be able to pull that together and then do what he did in combination. It's a team sport in combination with these other guys, and I think of Luther Burden. He's hurt, but yet he still found a way to contribute. Imagine when he has full health and what he's going to be able to put together.
Gabe has made a distinction. I guess I recall this now that he brought it up, that Burden has some Jeremy Maclin in him, and if you recall, Maclin would get, not that he'd be out for a long time, but he would get hurt often and would kind of be nicked up, and you never knew how close to 100% he was. And as Gabe also wrote yesterday, Monday, I guess, there will be a Heisman Trophy campaign around him, and I think there may be one around Brady Cook because he's a senior. This will be his third year starting, and he is likely the starting quarterback for a top, at worst, 15 team, possibly top 10 team. And barring a miracle, Missouri's undefeated when they go to College Station, Texas in October, and possibly undefeated going to Tuscaloosa, Alabama. I mean, that might be better than 50%. I really hope they can continue the momentum of 2023 into 2024 because the program took a hit when there was so much attention on the 2008 team, and they really were disappointing relative to what the expectations were. It wasn't like it was a terrible season, but relative to the expectations. If you can carry this momentum over and you can have that game against Oklahoma in early November mean the world, you have an event for the state of Missouri, and that carries the casual fan momentum into 2024, and that is a huge part of the program growing into, what most schools have in the SEC, and that is it is an event, and it's something that's talked about year-round.
And it can be sustainable.
Yes.
Clemson was not always Clemson.
No.
Georgia was not always Georgia.
There's revisionist history on blue bloods. Ohio State has been a blue blood for, ever, really. I mean, I don't know if you go back 100 years, but, for my lifetime, certainly. But even Alabama before
the Mike Shula years,
Mike Shula and Mike DeBose.
Yeah. Perkins was there.
I think Franchione was there for a year.
Was it John Parker Wilson?
Was he in there? Was he?
I think that was Nick Saban's first quarterback at first.
Oh, is
They
that
went
right?
like 6 and.
I mean, it kind of.
Who was the old big red coach that was in
Gene Stallings. He won a national championship.
he did well there.
He won a national championship there. He kind of picked it up, but there was. He didn't take over for Bear Bryant though. There were some people.
No,
in between.
that was Perkins, I think.
Is that right?
Bear Bryant, I think.
So and it was interesting to me, and I can't recall. Oh yeah, it was that SEC podcast thing. Jackson, are you around and available? Not doing time cards for stuff. You follow that SEC podcast on Twitter, and we talked to think about on TMA that they released, because Doug's a big power rankings guy. You always see like Lenardi's bracketology,
especially a year or two out,
right? And they had Missouri at 4, and just because I was in a good mood yesterday, so I decided to read comments. To kind of bring me down and experience some mental and emotional equilibrium.
Yeah, you don't want to feel too good.
That's exactly right. Just bring me down. And it was really interesting to me that there were a bunch of people, SEC fans, saying you've got Missouri too low, and these weren't like Mizzou guys. These weren't like Gabe's clients. These were SEC people. And I think, again, it's a bowl game, but it speaks to what we talked about a little bit yesterday. The fact that Missouri beat a blue blood, albeit Ohio State, not necessarily Ohio State as they were in November, that was kind of the, okay, you're part of the club moment for a lot of SEC schools. Because number one, they hate Ohio State, and number two, they view Ohio State as legitimate, even if that wasn't the Ohio State team that went up to Ann Arbor. It's still Ohio State, and we hate Ohio State, and now Missouri at 11-2. Is that what they finished, right? 11-2? That's legitimate. You lose to Ohio State, and then your best win is Tennessee, I guess. I don't know. Kentucky, K-State. I have no idea. Because I was saying to Jackson yesterday, I thought Missouri's most impressive performance of the season was Georgia. I mean, and I don't even sweat that. I think that is without question. They played that game so damn well. It's just Georgia played a perfect game. And it seemed to the public, I think, impossible for Missouri to compete with Georgia, especially in Athens. And you look back on that game and you go, holy crap, they went into Athens and they were right there to win that game. A bad interception.
And even in hindsight, the casual fan, the non-Missouri, non-Georgia fan looked at that and they pushed Georgia right to the brink.
Yeah.
And it could have gone easily the other way.
It absolutely
just
could
like
have.
that.
It
And
really
you're right,
could have.
That's what put them on the map.
Because even as a fan going in, I'm like, God, I could see him winning this game. I really could, but I could also see him getting blown out. That was the moment I go, okay. And it was because I'm watching offensive line and defensive line play, and they were right there with them. You carry that momentum over as far as line play goes, and you can play with anybody. And that's why I would have, even though it sounds ridiculous, I think Missouri could have beaten anybody in the country this year. I also think 2023 college football is different than, if you remember the 90s, the Nebraska and Florida State teams, that 2001 Miami team, is that the one that they got banged by a terrible pass interference call and lost to Ohio State?
One of those Miami teams had 43 players made it to the NFL.
It's unbelievable when you look at that roster.
Defense had like 6 first rounders.
That was like the Ed Reed. I think he was a part of it anyway. But either way, it seemed like, and certainly some of these Alabama teams, where they were just up here and then there was everybody else. This is a year where I think if you had the college football playoff, I won't use Missouri as an example, but Ohio State, certainly, the real Ohio State, could have absolutely won the national championship. And it sounds counterintuitive, especially when you have 2 undefeated teams playing for a championship.
Of course they could.
But it's not like you look at Washington and go, oh my God. Washington had near-death experiences with a number of pedestrian teams and in Michigan. And I don't think people look at Michigan as a holy crap, that's up there with those 1990s Nebraska teams or some of these Alabama teams that we've seen. Or LSU, 2019 LSU might be the best team I've ever seen. It was just a one-year-and-done thing.
And some people thought with this transfer portal that the Blue Bloods will bogart all the top players,
and instead,
it will get more top-heavy, and it seems the opposite is happening.
It's been a big positive, at least in the short term, for Missouri and Ole Miss.
I want to rewind. You were talking about the old Nebraska team. Wasn't their average winning margin, wasn't it something like 76 to 8?
It was, anytime they played Missouri, it was about that. It was nuts. And then I guess Barry Switzer, and he's a bootleggers boy, is that right?
He sure was.
He had that going in Oklahoma for a time. Yeah. Miami in the 80s. Yeah, they would just skull pound everybody. I mean, holy crap. And I just don't think that was the case this year. And it's not like it's a product of the era, because just 5 years ago you had Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase and Justin Jefferson playing together. But I don't think that you're going to have an undefeated champion. You know you're going to, but I don't think people look at 2023 Michigan or 2023 Washington as one of the greatest college football teams ever. That's not a shot at them. I think it just speaks to this was a year of great depth at the top. It just wasn't one or two teams being in another world.
If they can figure out, and if the playoff might be the solution, if they can figure out how to get parity, the excitement in the games in the years to come is going to be
well, the ratings, I don't know if you saw the ratings. Jackson, you sent that over as a link, right? The ratings for the Alabama and college football is, for as much, as like Take Smithing and Orlowski were talking about the crisis that is the bowl game. I mean, people were, the bowl game, but well before this crap this week. People are locked into college football, and it broke a record, I believe, or it's the second highest rated game in the last decade.
Its peak was the best of any college football playoff game.
Okay. The peak between Alabama and Michigan.
It's 32.8 million.
And then even that, midnight affair between Washington and Texas still had 19 million viewers, which I believe was also one of the top college football games, not of all time, by any means one of the top.
They might want to move those games up an hour.
I don't know what you also sent a link yesterday, and I wanted to click on it and read it, but I haven't had a chance yet about why these games are starting so late.
Yeah.
Here it is. Yeah, why do college football playoff games have to start so late? Did you read that?
I've glanced over it, but it was more of an opinion piece, so it was like, I'll send it over, but it's not. There's not as much substance to it.
Especially the Rose Bowl. I understand it traditionally starts when it does, but
that's the granddaddy of them all.
That Rose Bowl group, God almighty. Yeah. I mean, they were the ones that really kept the playoff from happening for a number of years because they were adamant about having Big Ten and Pac-12.
Is that the bowl committee that Brian Hinchin serves on?
I thought he was on that Pop-Tart Bowl, and he was played a big role in the live mascot getting eaten.
I'm campaigning to be part of the Bluebonnet Bowl myself.
That used to exist.
Yeah.
I wonder what the Bluebonnet Bowl is now.
Used to be remember it was the Astro Bluebonnet Bowl there for a while.
Astroglide,
They played
right.
in the Astrodome.
Is that right? Great facility.
Yeah.
Bad News Bears had a win there.
Yeah, they did. And Bob Watson said, let them play.
So the issue is the Rose Bowl wanted the game to start at 5 Eastern. So that is, and the reason is they want the sunset in the fourth quarter.
Oh, God. And everyone just says, okay, whatever. Do people just go along with that?
Who cares?
I'm actually on board with that.
Boy, I'm going to...
Oh, God, F off. Now we know Balloon Party's topic today.
Uniform talk, here it comes.
Let's all go vacation in California because we saw the sunset. We don't get a sunset here.
I love the sunsetting on the Rose Bowl.
Oh, you bastards. Oh, you bastard.
Couldn't that be when the game ends? You show that sunset while going into the first game before everybody's in bed?
Oh, my God. The Rose Bowl wants to start at 5 p.m. Eastern to preserve tradition and its precious sunset. So be it. Start the Sugar Bowl at 1 Eastern and fill the night slate with the ReliaQuest Bowls of the world. Would the ratings really take that big of a hit? After all, this is an entity that has routinely aired its games on New Year's Eve. That is true. Next year, how about this? This is wonderful. You will have 4, I guess it'll be quarterfinal games. That would stand to reason, hence the name quarter. 4 quarterfinal games. One will be on New Year's Eve, and New Year's Day next year, or this year, is, I guess it's next year. The point being, this coming season is on a Wednesday. So New Year's Eve's on a Tuesday. You'll have 1 quarterfinal game on New Year's Eve, and you'll have 3 quarterfinal games on New Year's Day.
Oh, gosh. Will we see any sunsets? Can we not take video of a sunset and just play that? Here's what the sunset would look like had we started the game at a different time.
Last year, they had the college football playoff was on New Year's Eve because Ohio State missed that kick right at the strike of midnight.
That's right. I was having dinner at Paulie Botto's. I remember watching it on my phone.
Yeah,
Lambo.
Chicken Spadini. They should always do it on New Year's Eve. That's the best because then who gives a damn about what time it ends? And you still get the sunset.
Yeah, I mean, even before the Rose Bowl went late, I said to my wife, I'm not staying up for this thing. I don't care. I mean, I guess if it were Michigan, Alabama, it might have been more attractive. I mean, Michigan, Alabama at the Rose Bowl is about as perfect as it could possibly be. So that was a win. But I didn't realize the Rose Bowl had this thing with the sunset.
Love it.
Because that's going to make somebody watching decide to buy more from the advertisers.
Holy
the sunset.
crap. Because I was thinking to myself, God, this is a really late start for the Sugar Bowl, but maybe this is what they always do. I don't know. Either way, I'm going to bed. It doesn't matter. But it's because of that effing sunset.
Now I don't like the sunset.
I'm out on the Rose Bowl.
You're done. You just sold all your
Finished
stock.
with it. The granddaddy of them all.
Pasadena's overrated anyways. I do like the golf course that Ketty corner to that, though. Looks nice.
You've done a lot of time in Pasadena. Is that right?
No, I'm just kidding. I just
Oh.
saw the overhead shot of the golf course and read a little bit about
I've
it.
been to L.A., but I've never been to Pasadena. What is this, a little north, right? North of
kinda fun
Dodger
for that.
Stadium, right?
I think so, yeah.
I want to go to Chavez Ravine. I want to go to the
Great ballpark.
Yeah,
Chavez
I'd
Ravine is
love to
fabulous.
go to a
Great ballpark. Doug, it's in a hole.
It's in a ravine.
It looks so
Is
cool.
it a nice But people call it Bill's Ravine.
They don't call it Bill's Ravine.
Do they start
at
every
all.
game to get the sunset in the seventh
They
inning?
do. That's correct. Vin Scully.
Yes.
the
No,
sunset.
baseball fields, you aim it away from the sunset.
That's right.
All home plate's always
And do you think
face
that's
east.
hurt America's pastime?
It's killed it.
Isn't that why viewership going down each and every year?
It is, because you never see a sunset.
And that's because Bailey's moved the sun.
Yeah, the last thing you want is the sun
bought
setting
the
over the
sun and
center field
couldn't
wall.
pay God.
God, I had halftime of the Sugar Bowl came at 10:45 Eastern.
I watched like almost through the second quarter. I'm like, this is stupid. I have to go to work the next day. I've been off 10 days.
I tried to go to sleep with it on about the third quarter. I had it on in the background, and then a play would happen. Well, I better see what's going on, and wound up watching the whole darn thing.
Oh, when you hear, if it's on in the background, you hear, oh, what a big play.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing is, I mean, it's Texas, which certainly is a heritage program. And Washington, I mean, not that it has the same equity of the other three schools, but they've also been in the college football playoff, and it was a great game. And, you know, it was buried at ending at midnight Central, 1 a.m. on the East Coast. Not even East Coast. You could be in effing Tennessee. Did the Sugar Bowl ever end? I won't watch a sporting event that I know I won't see the ending. I'm guessing many others on the East Coast also didn't watch a 9 p.m. kickoff. That's from a gentleman who's a sports media critic, Bobby Greenberg. You know Bobby Greenberg?
Sure, Greenie. Don't they do that on some of the baseball playoff games now, too? They start them super late. And I don't get that at all. Why you wouldn't want to showcase
It's
some of your biggest
Jackson and his
events.
effing sunset.
Worth it.
It isn't. Why would you say that?
This is the aesthetically most.
I can't believe that this. I think you've morphed into Arlovsky and you're now just doing a take.
No, dude, like it was the best looking game I've seen in a long time. Michigan, Bama at sunset at the Rose Bowl. It's outstanding.
Who cares what the sunset is doing?
Nick Saban looked like he was staring into an eclipse for the first quarter.
Is this what you talk about when you're in a house with those 20 boys?
Must be.
I like the aesthetically pleasing games.
We're all decorators.
Like that's the cool thing about the Rose Bowl is that it plays at sunset. It's gorgeous. I love that. And I think
what do you say to because Brian Henshin's also on the Sugar Bowl committee. What do you say to the people at the Sugar Bowl?
Let's get out of the Dome Stadium. I give a damn about a Dome Stadium.
agree. You want to talk? You go from one of the most aesthetically pleasing venues to that effing thing.
Yeah, dude, it's
But
like
it's also
thing
January.
sucks.
Even in New
But
Orleans,
that
it gets
building. I mean,
cold.
we were there for the Super Bowl together, and I'm sure we went to a bunch of Rams Saints games. That thing's garbage. I mean, that thing is garbage.
Well, it's old.
cutter
It
nonsense. Like I don't want to look at that. I'd much rather watch the sunset. And then,
I can't tell the difference when I'm watching a game in Glendale and Houston and what's the other one? No, I feel like I'm missing another one.
Indianapolis.
Retractable roof.
It's ironic that a lot of the Sun Belt cities are the ones with the dome stadiums.
Because
Atlanta,
that's where the money is.
Dallas,
And they want
Houston,
retractable roofs.
Phoenix.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, you got Minneapolis, and it's got an open air stadium for
Yeah.
when the Twins go into a deep run.
So I will take the uniqueness of the Pasadena of the Rose Bowl at sunset, and you know what? If that costs me some sleep, then it costs me some sleep.
Jackson is right. You guys are boomers. Doug is not liking a midnight game ending. Is that an old person take?
Probably is. I don't care.
Tough but fair.
I wouldn't have liked it when I was 20.
The Superdome is absolutely awful. How do they get every big event? New Orleans, the city is trash. It's insane. That's from Harrison Brother Master.
That's a decent question. New Orleans is a rough city.
It is, but we've covered games there. It is incredibly convenient. I think it also is from the Indianapolis standpoint. Everything is there. You stay downtown and you walk there.
Yeah.
I realize you could theoretically stay downtown in St. Louis and walk to the dome.
You could run to the dome. I wouldn't suggest walking.
But the Dome, you know, we got to see Missouri take on Memphis, and that was awesome because they had two different numbers for the yard markers. You
which
could
is
see a
nice.
shadow of one. It was like Tupac's hologram.
And the turf looked like it was about 50 years old.
And so it is about as aesthetically pleasing as the Superdome.
Why can't we get a bowl game here? Why can't we? Every other city has one.
Like a Sunsets.
We're sitting here with a dome stadium and can't get a bowl
Do
game.
we have purple seats and our field catches fire? Isn't it like
Only
leaking and
one.
we
Could be the
sell
return of
RC
the
Cola?
Jackson,
Why
what does
not?
your new gal pal think of sunsets? Thanks, that's from the Pope.
Good question.
Don't answer it. Go into a
Jackson's
deep
been
hole.
briefed by counsel to handle questions that way. Good question.
I love the Pope. He can roll the rock, but
Pope defeated me in the Fan Page Club Championship. He did, Doug, and he can roll the rock.
Boy,
I've never
10
played anybody in a match who could putt like that, MFer. God bless America. Usually I'm like, 10 feet out, I'll 2-putt. And I'm like, 10 feet out, he's draining it. I'm vanquished. I haven't slept since then.
Really?
And lag putting. Just keep it tight.
God almighty. The Superdome is trash. Games in Glendale are the best to watch on TV, only behind the Rose Bowl at Golden Hour. Doug, you like that Golden Hour?
No, I don't like it. Stop it.
Steve Klein's dirty hat sent that in.
Who cares what's going on the horizon? You're watching the game, right? I don't care where they play.
But then they do like the sweeping shots around, and you get to see like the purple and yellow on the sky.
Yeah, they
It's
see the
gorgeous.
purple
I don't
derby.
care. If I'm interested in the game,
This guy's
then I'll watch.
credibility is going straight
I
down.
know. I think he's Orlovsky, and I think he's getting ready for. He knows Balloon Party's going to be slow with the topics today, so he's going to come up with this nonsense.
Is it
This
possible
is how I
that
feel. I actually feel very strongly about it.
God
is it possible that he's just so young that all this is new to him, that he's just now discovering the Rose Bowl and sunsets, and we've all seen it for
Dazzled by
60 years now, and okay, there it is again.
You know, one of my first memories in sports was watching Texas USC national championship at the Rose Bowl. All-time game.
That was
Reggie
an all-time
Bush
game
versus Vince Young, and so that has a big impact on my relationship with Footbee.
And the
I
sun.
thought that was at the Orange Bowl.
No, that was Rose Bowl.
Was it?
100%. Yeah. Leinart, Bush, Vince Young.
Yeah, that game was sick, and there was
Glendale White couldn't pick up a critical first down, Doug.
Yeah.
Nice show prep.
great uniform matchup as well there.
Yeah, that is a good uniform matchup. Don't you agree that the Michigan-Alabama uniform matchup, taking the sun and where it's set out of the
Right.
equation, pretty good uniform matchup?
It was good because this is what they've been wearing forever. You could tell which team is which.
No, Michigan,
Stick to
this
your
is the
talking
first
points,
year they
Vaughn.
went blue.
It isn't. They've looked like that for decades.
No, they were maize and white for the longest
They
time.
weren't.
They changed to
Oh, they're
blue.
maize and blue.
Maize and blue.
Hey, if you're injured in a car accident, you need an attorney, you need the best one you can find. If anyone in my family or friends are ever injured in an accident, I want them to call Doug Biggs and C.D. Longo at Longo Biggs Injury Law. For nearly 10 years, Doug Biggs and C.D. Longo have been recognized as the top 40 under 40 personal injury lawyers by Super Lawyers, the National Academy of Personal Injury Attorneys, and the National Trial Lawyers Association. You go online at longobiggs.com. How do you spell that, Tim? I'll answer it. LONGOBIGGS.com. Doug and CD are TMA listeners. They are local. They are friendly. They are professional. And most importantly, they're excellent personal injury lawyers. Go online at longobiggs.com. Remember, the choice of an attorney is an important decision and should not be based solely on adverts.
I have a really stupid question.
That's perfect because I got to log into the email account.
Okay, the .com, does the com stand for computer or communication, or what does the com stand for?
Mark?
I thought it was commercial. Legitimately, I thought it was commercial. Jackson, can you check on that for me?
.com stands for commercial.
Nice. Mark Big. It's like a little trivia game.
Nice.
How about that?
Doug,
As
you were
opposed
wrong.
to .net, .gov, .org. Com is for commercial.
Broken clock right twice a day. This guy.
Yeah, you shipped it.
I didn't know
Reward
that.
yourself with some Grassies.
I will.
You should.
Double down.
You going to stick in here to vote for? I think Iggy's
Yeah, I'll
gone.
vote for,
Iggy
Iggy went
probably
home.
just left.
He's sitting out there. He looks like John Cazale in Godfather 2.
John Cazale.
Just sitting.
I'm smart.
I was passed over. He can hear me too now because it's playing in the break room.
Well, it's time. We gotta go because we gotta go get our asses ripped on this sunset take down the hall. This is not gonna go well.
Okay.
By the way, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the Design Air Heating and Cooling email of the day. Can Buck Swope win every one of them? Ann Young, Happy New Year, everyone. Thanks. That's from #1 Asian intern Brian Henshin, a.k.a. ASMR Ting Ting 2.0. New Year, new whisper video. Kicked by the YouTube channel for a dramatic whisper reading of Ken's latest conversation with an identity-thieving porn bot. Sure, it's a very obvious fake account, but what if it's not? What if it really is a lonely woman in her mid-20s or an Algerian princess who's been kidnapped by Hindi pirates who are demanding social security numbers lest they start chopping off fingers? What then? Captain Sava strode to the rescue, baby. Wow, Brian Henshin.
Brian
And he's
Henshin,
doing
bowl
that.
executive.
All while
Good
covering the Colts and Texans game. Morning, 2024, New Year, same Cletus. Continuing to use that TMA Facebook fan page as his own little personal diary. Christmas Eve, 2023. His parents are wrapping presents and children are fast asleep. Cletus word salads himself a little collection of letters and words that says, Mr. Mr. Flower with me in Florida. Yummy. Tim told me I'm not allowed to speak my mind anymore. I'll bite my tongue. No more politics. Wine emoji. Christmas morning 2023, Cletus posts a grainy Grateful Dead clip at 4 in the morning that was met with exactly 0 likes and 0 comments. December 29th, 2023, Cletus comments some indescribable collection of words which roughly translated to something about not eating food and making money to play golf and drink Gatorade wine. This was met with a couple dozen GIFs portraying people being confused. December 30th, 2023, a life update to nobody stating, my ex-wife made my bed and stacked all my books for me. No likes. 1 comment. Short but poignant. Quote, sad, end quote.
Oh.
New Year's Eve 2023, Cletus posts a photo of some person or someone called Guy. He states that this Guy isn't playing to his normal capabilities. I think this is probably the best part of the fan page, when people reference other people that absolutely no one knows.
That's his son.
As if they're a globally known icon, especially the people living in Cletus's hostel for twinks and twunks. New Year's Day 2024, again, 4 more grainy Grateful Dead clips that one person liked and then removed. Somebody removed the clip? January 2nd, 2024, he had it chambered all night and fired it this morning. Quote, you guessed it, another grainy Grateful Dead clip that nobody wanted. Thanks, that's from Ellen Foley's intern.
Ellen Foley's intern.
Great summer.
How many more years do you guys need to be at Hubbard before one masters the ability to submit a time card on their own? You'd think submitting this time card is equivalent to splitting atoms, with now frequently Ken distracting his 23-year-old handler mid-segment to submit it for him. Also, can 2024 be the year we normalize skipping work responsibilities to search for porn in the company break room because you heard one clearly fake Twitter ad bot maybe had some OnlyFans leaks? Thanks, that's from a greasy 37-year-old busboy about to treat your daughter to sex.
Oh. Greasy 37-year-old busboy about to treat your daughter to sex.
And young, given the success of my tenure as a bowl executive, I'm excited to announce that my venture for 2024 will be sponsoring the Rose Bowl Sunset. And here it is, the Rose Bowl Sunset, sponsored by ASMR Rapunzel. Make sure to find him/her on YouTube. Subscribe and tickle that bell for notifications for a discount at all concession stands in the 400 level. Thanks. That's from #1 Asian intern Brian Henshin, a.k.a. ASMR Rapunzel 34, proud sponsor of the Sunset at the Rose Bowl.
Brian Henshin, proud sponsor, Rose Bowl Sunset.
Does my hole taste like yours? I thought you had the blackened mahi-mahi last night at Nobu and Jeffco. I asked Zane as I swirled his recently ejected butt plug from his tushy cavity around my mouth, letting the sauteed, excreted bits of rock jump tempura and Shishoto peppers dance across my palate. I tasted, he gaped. I got a tour of his manure. Speak to me, tell me what you see, Doug. That's from the Tinky Monster.
God.
And
Tinky Monster's been suspended.
Thank you.
Tinky Monster been suspended and he's been fined.
He got a fine.
He's been fined.
Can we fine people?
Yeah, he's got fined $50.
Can we run that through Evergreen Wealth Strategies?
I approve.
Tinky Monster fined and suspended 2 days' time.
And finally, it's about time someone called out Big. It's about time someone called out Big Porn for pushing their ass-eating agenda on the unsuspecting masses who are just looking to rub one out to 28-year-old MILFs, 45-year-old matures, and ladyboys with nice breasts over at xnxx.com. Now, the mainstream media wants us to believe that butt eating is the #1 porn search in the state of Illinois. Is that a new report? That sounds like the work of Deke Dotum's army of bots, similar to how he got Pepper and Genie nominated for Best Radio Show, despite the fact that it was never on the radio, save for commercial broadcast on an obscure HD2 station promoting the dormant podcast for a full calendar year. I want to give the listeners some advice. This girl named Jeremy started DMing me over the holidays. She's got a bunch of mutual friends, including Jakey, big mistakey. Nope, different Jakey, my mistakey. Anyway, I play along with these girls. She sent me a picture of her and her daughter and talked about how lonely she was. And then she said she needed help with food and asked me about the size of my ween. Look at this. Look at that. Anyway, if any girl named Jeremy slides in your DMs asking about the size of your ween, you go ahead and block them. If you'll excuse me, I need to fill out my time card. Nope, my boy boss, who likes to spend his vacations bunking with dozens of other men, did that for me. Now I can go back to work searching for Lil Miss Laura OnlyFans leak. Happy New Year, it's my birthday in 8 days. That's from Buck Swope.
Oh, Buck Swope with a
That's
nice
what we
little
have
email.
for the Design Air Heating and Cooling email today. What you got?
Well, there were some good ones. Buck Swope right there at the end was pretty good. Ellen Foley's intern was pretty good, although he bashed Cletus, and I like Cletus. I'm going to vote for Brian Henshin's first email.
Wow.
Brian Henshin.
Brian Henshin, Bowl Executive, right?
Bowl Executive, his first one.
I'm going to break the streak. It's not going to be Buck Swope because I'm going Brian Henshin.
Oh,
Brian
really?
Henshin!
Oh, are you really?
Buck Swope will not win every email this year.
I thought Alan Foley got screwed.
God, I mean, I was going to be put to the
bashed Cletus.
test, but I didn't even have to. Mark Hanna came in.
Yeah.
And hey, sponsors rules, Doug. Sponsors rules.
For sure.
Mark Hanna, thank you for sitting in for the 9 o'clock hour.
for
And
having
Iggy's
me.
probably even more grateful because he got to sit out there
relax.
like Fredo.
Anything to avoid working.
He'll complain about it, but he's loving it.
Time for us to shut it down. Jackson and I are going to go talk about the sunset at the Rose Bowl for an hour on
don't
101
need to.
ESPN, and they are not going to be happy about that. For the Plowhawk, for Jackson, for Mark Hanna, for Kenneth Iggy Strode, for my brother Kevin, for Douglas Elvin Vaughn, I'm Tim McKernan. This has been The Morning After, presented to you by Brown and Crouppen.
Urban Dictionary defines thirsty as